need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
Stand up, sharing, loving, hoping, and working together, growing, supporting each other through stormy weather. Making leaps and bounds through advocacy, spreading joy and awareness for all to see. There's no community without you and me. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build each other up. We expand our networking and resources. We never give up. We stand for what is right. We never go down without a fight. The African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. I say, it takes a village to become a community. So community, please stand up. We are waiting.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Lloyd Spence, and if you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests including the bracket contest, where you have a chance to take home the top prize. So, head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. It's BetOnline where the game starts. Happy March Madness.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. You can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. What's that saying? Breaking down the rumor, I'm smiling now. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power with a whisper and a shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey, yeah. Say it again, say it. We're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Never noise keeps us under. The truth divine. The sign that you is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up voices and we're talking noise. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. NOIZ, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother NOIZ, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle NOIZ, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ. 2, 1, ready, come on.
Bring my kids in. Always have to give a disclaimer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just give a disclaimer. That way you're not. Look at Vonda bum rushing the show. What's up, Vonda? You got to unmute, Vonda. We got to teach you how to do this.
My bad. Sorry. My bad. Hi.
Good to see you, girl.
Hi.
Well, you're not alone. You're among friends. Mama Noise is trying to even the playing field. I see what she's doing. She's trying to even the playing field. The lovely Tanila is here.
Hello.
And Lala is here.
Hi.
I see what's happening, Mama Noise. You got me. But I like that though. I like that. I can handle it. I can handle it.
Frozen. What just happened?
Yeah, you frozen. Your computer won't even let you be great. I'm definitely gonna have to call the place to worship today because I got all these women's in here. Lord, let me get my. Where's my organ player at? Where's my little white man organ player? Here we go. What up, Ron?
I'll be in the background.
Okay, well let me get the call to worship going. Lord, we need you today. We got these lovely ladies in the house for the church service, and Cuz is coming, and you know that's a pretty volatile mix, Lord. So I just pray, God, that your blessings be upon us on this church service. And we thank you and we give you all the glories. Now, noise makers, grab your church fans and your Bibles and your tithing envelopes and head to the pews as we begin this holy and righteous undertaking. Amen. He playing that organ. You played that, little white man. I sure appreciate you. How y'all feeling today, ladies?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Any day you on this side is a blessing.
That is very true. That is very, very true. Tanila, lovely Tanila, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
She is so sweet. Y'all just don't know. She's just one of the sweetest people on earth, on the planet of Earth.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. The pastor, official pastor of Noise Media is in the building. He says he has my back.
Hey, Pastor Cord.
I appreciate it. Well, listen, we've been in this discussion about black men and black women for a couple of weeks now. And so we were trying to get away from it. And then Saturday night, we were trying to do this innocent little show called Uncorked Wine. It seemed like we kept stumbling the videos that wouldn't let us get away from the conversation. So I said, okay, we got to bring it back one more again. So here we are once again, talking about this very volatile issue called black men and black women. There were several different presentations, if you will, that were brought to the table Saturday night that could be considered as inflammatory, dare I say even intense. And so we thought we'd bring them back for today's show and see how people would respond and what their thoughts would be, and who is to blame for all this black man, black woman tension. So there you go. So let's jump right into it. We're not even going to hesitate. We're going to get into the first of several videos that we want to show.
Keep your main guy that you love happy. Not the that ain't doing shit for you happy.
Who said the side nigga not doing nothing for you? Like, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So why he getting all the benefits?
He just not. He don't got a title. You just on the side so I could do whatever.
And that's why we want to be exactly. The only time I got offered him was when I was not in a relationship with a shorty. Any shorty I've been in a relationship with? Exactly. Oh hell no. Nah, don't even ask me that. That's disrespectful.
Okay. She's a little more. That was a little more intense than we had anticipated. Here we go.
You know, they probably just get tired.
Oh man, production is struggling today.
Yeah,
all these women.
Chill. I done have my fun. Once a woman get onto that whole phase and stuff like that, I'm sorry, you can't really shake that.
So you say women like Pringles? Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Yeah. Listen, I talk to women for a living. They may take some seasons off, but they get right back to it.
Okay, that's the whole phase. I'm not sure what that was about, but there you go.
Thank you for being.
Yeah. So that was, let's see, what was the other one? There's one more, Ron. Is Ron there? He remembers.
Are you reaching out for some testosterone?
No, I'm not afraid of you.
Oh, you're afraid. You're very afraid.
I remember the one other video that we was watching.
He's at work. He's at work. That's right. He's at work.
You know what?
He's unavailable.
This woman here. I'm praying for this lady here. I can't remember which one it was. Okay, but anyway, the whole premise of the whole thing was you listen to some of these videos that we were watching, and the men, I guess the last couple of weeks have been kind of saying, you know, we're getting blamed for a lot of what women are taking ownership to. And so it's like they're saying, like the first lady was saying, listen, I got a side dude and he need to know his position. And the other lady was saying, you know, once you open up the whole phase of your life, you that's who you are. Now you might go away from it for a little while, but you tend to come back to it or whatever. And I really don't want to get into that part because that part's, you know, I don't know, that's opinion or whatever. But we talk about the presentation of Black women in society, and are the, I don't want to say ratchet because that seems rude, but the most ratchet women, Black women, are they becoming the norm and the standard by which Black women are being measured? And is that the reason why Black men are struggling to have the same respect for Black women that they've had before in the past? So that's where I think I'd like to start.
Wow.
That's deep. Okay. The first thing that came to my mind is one of the things that I always go back to because it's just amazing to me. I mean, I can't get over how these young ladies put themselves out there to be seen in a certain light, but they get in their money. You understand? If there isn't a need for something, then it isn't a market for something. So I'm thinking entertainment again, because why? Because that's where my base is. All these young ladies doing this on the videos and on the polls, but still yet getting the education and handling business the way they handle. I think that it makes the world see us in a certain light. But that's what's expected of us anyway from a lot of the men out there. They want you to be a certain way at home, want you to be a certain way out in the streets. So where is the balance? And what's wrong with these young ladies getting what they need to get and getting their dollars? Now, me personally, I wasn't raised that way. So even when the young lady was talking about side dudes, I was lucky to have a boyfriend. So I wouldn't try a side dude. That's not my thing. But the perception is you want us one way, but then again, you want us another way. And then society wants us another way. So that automatically brings conflict into our world. And this ain't nothing new because even the slave masters pit us against one another. So the fact that people are trying to say Black men versus Black women, that's how they want to keep us separated in the first place. But how do we balance that? And how do we go along to be successful in life? That is where the dilemma is. I mean, I see a lot of these young ladies doing their thing. I can't be mad at them. They're getting their dollars. I just know that it's something that I can't do. But we also need to respect one another in the hustle and in the game. That's how I see it. That's the first thing that came to mind. So I just put it all out there.
Okay. To Nyla, who is also a proud member. I don't want to forget the lead, Barry the lead, that she's a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta. I don't want Barry to be here. So there you go. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with the part of not being raised the way that women are viewed today. Because I get the hustler mentality, but I was just taught to do it in a more respectful way. And I'm not like knocking down anybody for doing what they do. Just me personally, I think it's like, I think the black man versus a black woman, I think it's like a mental game system that they're trying to implant into like the younger generations and like my generation, because it's often seemed like, well, if you're not a black woman who has like this type of body, this type of hairstyle, then you're just not worth my time. And then on the flip side, I feel like for the men, it's like, well, if you don't have this much money in your bank account, if you're not driving this car, then like you're not worthy. But like I feel like it's a mind game.
Mind game. Okay. All right, Miss Vonda, the chef of the VNR Supper Club is with us today. She does more than cook in the kitchen, though.
Nice enough.
She does.
Ain't nobody talking to you.
That's right.
Sorry.
Talk about your thoughts on what we're talking about today.
What determines respect?
Well, that's a different question.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to take a phone call.
You did good.
I
Go ahead.
apologize. I'm sorry. As far as the video and about men and women, was it being at odds?
We can't hear you, sweetie.
Understand that dynamic is one of the reasons why men and women are at odds. Is it because of the way women are being presented, or the modern day black woman is presenting herself?
I think it is. I think it's how the perception is. It, like the young lady said, it's you have to look a certain way in order for the man to look at you. But in order for the woman to look at the man, he has to have a certain amount of money, or drive a certain car or have a certain profession. But it's the younger people. I feel like it's not the older generation. It's the younger generation. And I feel like it's the new wave music, and I don't even know if they still make videos or whatever it is, but the TV, it's the image. It's not what a person, it's not who they are on the inside, or it's all about their appearance. It's not who they are. That someone, in order for you to be on my arm, in order for me to, bring you around people. And I think it's foolishness. It's just my opinion.
Okay. All right, Mama Noise, what's your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I've been waiting for my opportunity to speak, but while I've been waiting, my mind has just been swirling from the video to video, and I do believe that the entertainment industry and the media have a large contribution to the perception. but it seems like that's what we're teaching them through all of this entertainment, through all this media. We're teaching our young people that, you know, if you don't have the lashes, if you don't have, you know, if you don't have the injections, you don't have the breast augmentation, if you don't have, you know, the bag, if you don't have, you know, if you don't have all this stuff, then, you know, it's like showing our young men that, you know, don't even shoot your shot. You don't have you don't have what it takes to step to this young lady. Where, like Vonda was saying, is that we used to have conversation. We used to talk. You saw the person on the exterior, but you sat down and talked to that person to find out what's on the inside. But, you know, you don't have to do that now. Now you just go to their page and scroll through their photos and be like, dang, you know, oh, okay. And then some of that stuff is not even legit. But you're just looking at it going, okay, look, oh, okay, he's got a nice whip. I see him, you know, and you're doing all that. But then the truth is, that's his mama's car. That's his mama's car. He's at his mama's house. And you know, he's got a nice job and everything. But, you know, but see, I'm saying I wouldn't know any of that if it wasn't for me being able to just go to the page and check all that information out. But it doesn't show who the real person is. It just shows, you know, just gives me the image, just gives me the visual. So at
what point do the expectations of the visual become, or the presentation of the visual become the expectations of the individual? In other words, you showed this to me, so this is what I expect you to be. I expect you to be exactly the girl that you showed me. You had your thing in your mouth and you dropped it down as low as you could get it in your throat. Okay, that's what I expect. I expect that. So if I'm not getting that, then it's your fault. It's not my fault. So whether you did it for money or whether you didn't, that's the expectation I have, because that's what you're displaying in front of me. Am I crazy or ladies or?
No, because men are very visual. And I think women they're visual as well, but not as much. We come from the heart a lot. I think a lot of us can say we love looking at beautiful, wonderful, handsome men, but we also are looking for the intellectual. Whereas men are very visual. And if you're putting that out there, and you're putting these filters on, and you're putting these girdles on with fake butts and fake boobs, what do you expect the man to think when he finally meets you and he sees that's not at all who he saw? So what we're teaching is to show what people think they want to see. These kids are out here doing it. But when you get down to it and you're looking at each other, you know, go out on a date, you're looking at each other, you're talking, you're having a piece of pizza together, right? It's what's the inside that counts more than out. But when you start off with just the visual, you are pretty much setting yourself up for failure in today's world, because you may not even get that date to sit down and talk and have a piece of pizza. I mean, Kenyatta, you know, we used to go to Mr. Gaddy's after the game. We get all cute to see who would sit down with our little bows, and you'd have conversation, but you still get cute and wear your outfit, right? But if there's nothing behind that outfit, there's nothing behind this brain, and all they're seeing is visual, how do you expect to create a future generation off of plastic people?
But I'll even take it a step further to beyond that. When that is the image, when that image is the competitive arena that all black women are playing in, and we're all trying to outdo each other, and we're all trying to outshake each other and out-twerk each other, then now it's the sport of dating as opposed to the end game. So now we're saying, I'm gonna see if I can get the baddest one, or I see if I can get the one that can do all of this, or I'm gonna see if I can get the. And so now it's not about. This kind of goes back to what we talked about yesterday with Naomi Osaka. I don't know if you guys saw the show, but we talked about how she got booed at this last tournament that she was in, and people will boo her based on her performance and what they perceive she should be doing based on the presentation that she's given us. And it's not that we don't see her as a young lady and a human being playing a sport. We see a tennis player, whatever that means, and we want our tennis player to play at a high level and win. So the face is taken off, and now you're the image and the presentation that you've given us. So lift that off and put it onto all of the young ladies who are on Instagram, who are vying for positions. Also, be it like Trinala said, the financial aspects of it all. There's a tremendous financial gain for some of these young ladies. But if it's a competitive sport now, it's much easier for me to dismiss the validity of your humanity. I don't have to see you as human anymore. I can see you as an image, as a presentation, if you will, and I want your presentation more so than I want your heart.
Yeah, but what kind of base is that? You hear me talk about foundation. People are right, but you know, this is how society is. The more views you get, the more naked you get. I even did a TikTok that said, "What I gotta do, get naked for y'all to look at some of mine?" Well, it ain't gonna happen because you know I'm gonna spit facts to you, but I ain't gonna be coming on here in no little booty shorts. First of all, God didn't give me no booty because He knew He shouldn't give me one. But you know, it's just that's the problem. The media and magazines and all that stuff focus on what they perceive as beauty. And the American mindset, the world mindset right now has become so short, so short. They've got you down to 5 seconds. So if you're inundated with 5 seconds of what is expected as beauty in this world from social media, we're programming one another and everyone else to expect it to be this way. We gotta stop it. But how do you stop it once it's already rolling downhill? That's the question. We can teach it all day long to our kids. I hope and pray that it takes seed and roots because they got their own minds. But when society is telling you need to be this way, and we're going to pay you to be this way, what you think is going to happen? That's a huge dilemma we've got to fight.
Go ahead, Ron.
No,
go ahead.
I was scrolling through TV and came across a segment on Dr. Phil, and they were talking about body image, and they had, and I don't mean to laugh, but they had people on there. They had a woman who was heavy, and she promoted being heavy.
Right.
She said that she was a heavy set, sexy woman. And then they had a woman on there who was basically plastic. Everything on her was plastic. And then they had a young man on there. His lips were so big from where he was getting injections. He wants a rib taken out of his body because he wants to be hourglass. And the last person that Dr. Phillips was talking to was a young African-American girl. And she was like, I think I'm on the wrong show. She said, no disrespect to everybody. She said, but I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And I was looking at her and I was like, looking at everybody else, the heavyset woman, I was like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just, overweight, and she thinks it's beautiful. That's her person. But I'm like, these people are injecting poison into their body because they want to be perceived as being beautiful.
Right.
Because that's what they think society wants, or that's what they've been told based on what society has said. This is crazy. This child wants to take a rib out of his body to be shaped like an hourglass.
So go ahead.
But where did he get that from? We got that from people like Kim Kardashian, who took the rib out so that she could have a smaller waistline, smaller than the average individual. And so because she did that, then they're doing that. Oh, I won't. the right size booty. My booty's not the size that I keep watching all these guys looking at go by and all of them hooping, hollering, and carrying on. I want one like that. Where they get that from? They see her and Nicki Minaj and K. Michelle and all them go get shots, willing to put their life on the line. Here in Dallas, Texas, we're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A woman went to a place called Deep Ellum. She went to Deep Ellum looking for the person who gives the injections. She found the person, gave them $500. They injected her with something, and she was dead before the weekend was over because nobody knows what she was injected with. Al Brown, Al that we have here on the show, he talked about a plane. Wait a minute, listen to what I'm saying. A plane full of black women on their way to the Dominican Republic to get butt shots. And when they came back, they couldn't even sit down in the seats of the airplane because, you can't be putting your weight on them, putting your pressure on them, But I'm saying that it's that type of stuff that tells our kids. I thank you, Lillian, for the correction, Janet Jackson, whomever. But
don't worry,
I'm saying the point is that they learn from them. I had a long conversation with our daughters to let them know the very things that you get naturally is what people are going to give their life savings and stuff. And I was like, you was already born with a nice lips. You was already born with hips. You was born well endowed. You're born with all of that. So I'm trying to help you to see the beauty that you already have and stop looking to them because they don't set it. You do. You're the one that sets the bar for beauty. If you say, oh, mine ain't good enough, I'm going to look at hers. You're looking in the wrong place. You need to start with you and stay with you. And if some guy doesn't like you because your booty ain't big enough, or you ain't got enough breast or whatever, keep it moving, partner, because there's somebody else that'll appreciate it.
Okay, but I want to go back to what you said, or one of you said. I think it may have been Lala. And I want to ask all you ladies this question because you mentioned it. You said society says this, and society does this, and society does that. And they're making us think, and they're making us believe, and da-da-da-da. Okay, so who is society?
Right. Who is society? There's this magic person behind this screen, like the Wizard of Oz. Nobody knows. When somebody in the media gets wind of something they want to promote, maybe it's even cosmetic surgeons who are pushing for these ads. I saw an ad just dedicated to Black women for plastic surgery. Come on now. How many of us in the past have been seeing that? Now you're going to see that. Now watch. More numbers of Black women will be going in for plastic surgery. It's whoever has the money to promote something that they want to promote to make it bigger. Then the women and everybody else go, oh, that's the new thing. Because let's face it, even Jet, Ebony, all those that were dedicated to us in the early years, we had the beauty of the week, did we not?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So this magic person behind this curtain is the one who sets it. And it's the people with the money. And they're going now for the demographics of us.
Tanila, you are right in the middle of all this. You hear these old people on here talking about your generation. What are your thoughts when you hear this? Like, do you agree? Do you think y'all just old and y'all don't get it? What is it?
Well, I mean, with being in the middle, I get both sides because from the side that you guys are speaking from, I mean, even today, like if, you meet somebody and you have a conversation, like a lot of the times you'll find out like a real guy doesn't want like all the extra enhancements. But on the other side, like if that's all you know and like social media is heavily influencing like my generation and younger, then unfortunately that's all they have to go off of. So I just wish that while there's also like promotions of enhancements, I wish that's why I love Beyonce so much, because I think like we need more women and more men like them because like there's nothing wrong with like getting thick naturally. Like just I don't know, eat more. I don't know. It's in our genetics. So I think like being like in the middle, I can see both sides, I guess.
Okay, all right.
But that's a good place to be in too. I mean, I'm very appreciative of her talking about that because she understands both sides. So there's a disconnect in that middle that we need to understand in order to teach the next generation, how to balance it all out. That's a great place to be in.
Is it possible though that this conflict that we're seeing between black men and black women, and we got the guys saying, "Oh, black women got to do better, and they got to stop thoughting, and they got to make better choices, and blah blah blah," and black women are saying, "Oh, black men, you aren't stepping up, and you're not defending us, and this, that, and the other." Is it possible that we're all sitting on a chessboard and we're being manipulated by something greater than ourselves?
1000%.
It's kind of like I know on a college campus they turn us against each other, especially like in the Greek community. Like it's just this unspoken rule of like, even though D9 is like all inclusive, it's this unspoken rule of, but we're at the top of D9. But no, we all come from the same like umbrella organization. So it's not even just with, I guess, like attractiveness is real. That's why I say it has to be a mental game because it's in everything.
So it sounds like we're fighting the wrong fight. Because I listen to you ladies and I'm listening to this conversation. I'm saying it seems like we're fighting the wrong fight. Ron says follow the money. It's more profit. It's more profit for society to tell you are not profitable, for society to tell you you're not beautiful, and company understand there is more money in misery. I say it all the time. There's no profit. There's only profit in pain. There's no profit in the healing or the cure. So they're gonna try to continue to give you the pain or medicate the pain to keep you coming back. But Sean asked a question. He says, "Why do women get mad when we say we like natural women? We don't want all the fake." Then they start saying that is what makes them feel beautiful, but the man sees them beautiful natural. Why is that, lady?
I think again it goes back to like the mental game. So if you're going after a younger woman who's like more familiar with like how things work, I guess, in society today, then that's what she's gonna associate beauty with, is like the big boobs or the enhancements.
Wow. It's interesting that you said the younger woman, that's what she equates as beauty. She doesn't know anything different.
Yeah.
Wow, now that's interesting. I hadn't put those two together quite like that.
I want to address Sean's question when he says, "Why do women get mad when we like the natural?"
I don't think he said it like that.
I'm gonna say it like you be saying. You be saying when the women be like,
I don't think
you said, and so I'm saying, why women get mad at the natural when we don't want the fake, and they start saying it's what make them feel beautiful. Okay, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but then the same man that be like, "I just want it all natural and stuff," and then all of a sudden you look over their shoulder and you like, then why are you looking at that? Or are you watching TV? Well, then why are you looking at that? Or we out at the mall or whatever, and you watching all the guys out there going, "I want that natural," but then, okay, then so it's like, I don't understand. It's like y'all send mixed messages. One minute you saying you want the natural, then the next minute, it's all you start rolling off all these stars and stuff like that, and she all right. Okay, well then what if it's all natural, then why are you even checking for that?
It's a difference between cars driving by and going to make a car purchase at a car lot. It's a huge difference. Nobody want just because I saw a car drive by and I saw the car don't mean that's what I want. Hey, that's a nice car. I don't want that car. I want what I bought. I like what I bought.
Woo woo woo.
See what I did there?
You know what? That sound like somebody said, I was downtown window shopping. I wasn't really trying to buy nothing. And then
do you buy everything that you window shop?
Mama said, don't go window shopping with money in your pocket.
Do you buy everything that you window shop even when you have money in your pocket? Okay, then.
Depends on how much money's in my pocket.
Totally agree.
Listen, I think I can safely say most men do not want something that is not natural, that is not real. Now, to be fair, a lot of men don't really know the difference either because they like, it feels natural to me. But the truth of the matter is, we don't want fake stuff. That ain't some. If you had a choice, you want something authentic. You want something real, inside and outside. Because some people are going to buy fake, titties and fake personalities. They buying all of it. They trying to get all of it, and we don't want none of that. We don't want nothing that's not real.
Okay, but see, the reason why that don't make sense is because if that were not the case, it would not be a multi-billion-dollar industry. Somebody wants some silicone titties. Somebody is saying, give my wife some extra because I'm tired of the saggy.
Nope. I don't think it's men saying it to women. I think it's women saying it to women. I think women saying,
there was some men out there who was like, my wife's boobs need to be perky and I need you to fix them. Ain't no woman is gonna go, well, I need my boobs to sit up here and smack me in my face.
That is true. No, that's true. No.
All the time. Go back to work.
It wasn't no dude that did that.
What woman's gonna go and say, I need to get my boobs fixed?
They do it all the time.
No. If that's the case, then we would have been and said we need to have some enhancements on you all then.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vonda.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Tadala.
Well, I was gonna say I was watching a show, and I don't know if you guys know who Snooki is from Jersey Shore. But she had shared that the reason she got her breasts done was because she had 2 kids, and like she just didn't like how low they sat. So like some women do.
A lot of women do. A lot of women look in that mirror and they go, these things are way too low.
I think that if they knew that it was acceptable, that if their husband, it was acceptable. And because I've heard several men, I'm not going to mention their names.
What do you mean is acceptable?
Acceptable that they're saying they done got older, gravity done kicked in, babies done kicked in, and I like it the way that it is. But there are some men that are saying, hey, them things be hitting me in the face. Those things be, they be dragging the ground.
But that ain't us. But we ain't, no, y'all not gonna box the brothers in like that now.
Brothers
ain't out here, like, I agree with Anthony. It might be like rich white men out here saying, go get them lifted and lifted up to the sky in praise. That ain't, brothers ain't out here doing that. We ain't, guys out here talking about lift them up higher than we belong. Man, we ain't doing that. Not no black men.
Let me tell you something. It's those, that's the reason why Hooters sells wings.
What?
You don't go to Hooters for their wings. You go
the food ain't good.
People go to Hooters for the wings all the time.
Bruh. Them wings ain't
no again for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back.
They don't go to Hooters for no wings. That ain't what they go there for. They go there because somebody put their titties on a plate and put them on display. And they ain't going in there for no saggy ones. They're going in there for those augmented ones.
Okay, but
if men don't really care nothing about it, why is it again $1 billion industry?
Because y'all want to get them lifted. It ain't listen. Real men are not out here telling women, "Hey, I'll date you. I'll take you to Red Lobster, but first you gotta get your titties lifted." Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. So what are you talking about?
Oh my
But
God.
when you see the
Right, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. You said they sell wings, not coochie.
You don't care nothing about them wings.
Then wings
First
are
of all,
nasty, and you
Nyla
know
is
it.
getting a whole new look at Pastor Lloyd today. She didn't think you.
Those wings are
Go now, Nyla.
anywhere.
We bring
Okay,
you all the way
okay,
in.
here's the thing, go. Okay, so we're at Hooters. You got your natural woman in front of you, and you got the Hooter girl walking past you. You see you.
Come on, Lala, tell the truth.
Yeah, baby. Are you looking at all that over there? You sending mixed messages. You want your man
I'm looking at her because she still got my wings.
girl.
Lies, then go through the drive-through then.
Y'all have a drive-through. If
Go,
they have
go.
drive-through, trust me, I'd go get. First of all, I don't go to Hooters.
Place your order online.
That ain't my spot. So, but I just don't believe that. Men and the guys in the chat are validating what I'm saying. That ain't our life. We ain't out here telling black women to go get bigger breasts or lifted breasts or tucked in or sucked in. We ain't doing that. We understand what the game is.
You're not out here. But you know what? Your algorithms say differently. Your algorithm is what keeps Persephone, the big titty girl in Instagram, in your Instagram news circulation. It's that type of people. When you go to those, or when you stop and pause and scroll to the left or scroll to the right of that, just to, well, oh, what the hell she is? Oh, well, now that ain't bad. It's those type of things that set the algorithm.
Yeah.
Derek said there's a fine line between natural and slouchy, lazy. Some women use natural as an excuse not to keep themselves up. And then Anthony Bruce said, men like young women. We have never lost that feeling. We like them when we are young and when we get older. And women see that and want their man to look at them like that again.
Of course we do.
But I've never not stopped. I've never not looked at my wife like that.
Thank God I can say my husband has always looked at me nice. Now put a guitar in front of him, I might have to fight.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, Tanaka. You are as much part as yours.
It's probably an unpopular opinion. I think it goes back to, I don't know who said it, but I think it was you, Pastor Lloyd. You said, are we fighting the wrong fight? I think we're looking at the expectations of what I don't want to say, like, for lack of a better term, what a boy finds as beautiful versus a man. Like, there's a difference. So I feel like
that's what I'm saying to Nyla. Y'all out here trying to satisfy little boys. Little boys do want the shiny new car. Hold on. Little boys do want the shiny new car and the brand new this and the perky this. Little boys do want that. Guess what? Because little boys can't have access to it. They don't get to play with the new always, or the toy in the store. Mama tell them to get out the store before I'm not buying that for you, but that's what I want, mommy. That's what I really want. But guess what? You can't have everything you want. Boys don't understand that. Men do. Men say, I got what I want. I'm good. I don't have to go out and get something extra. I don't have to have the shiny new thing. Men don't do that. I'm trying to tell you, you better listen. Men don't do that. We ain't out. Listen, we ain't about that life. We change it. So why would we require of you to alter yourself if we're changing at the same rate that you change it? Now, if we all go in there to get lifted and tucked and elongated and all that stuff, then okay.
I don't remember elongated being added.
Well, Vonda mentioned it earlier.
But then, okay, so look at the things that are very successful right now for that, though. I mean, we're getting fed so many different things. Let's take a 2-second look at sugar daddies and sugar babies.
Well, that's different.
Okay?
What?
How is that different, though,
that's different. Because she ain't got no money, and the good Willie Earl came through to be a blessing. That's what
Yo, that is our
No, you didn't.
You want that. You're a 50-year-old woman. You want a dedicated relationship, but he out here looking for sugar babies.
No, but Willie Earl finance whoever's available. Now, he ain't partial to the shit. Now, the sugar baby is usually the one that ain't got no money because the grown woman that figured that thing out. But the sugar baby don't usually have no money, and that's why it works out on Willie Earl's favor.
But remember what I said. if it wasn't a market for it, it wouldn't
See,
be.
now that's what we're saying.
But just because it's a market for it, we're not gonna make Willie Earl the standard of all black men, are we?
No, but let's look at this. This is what's being shown. This is what's going on in the world. It's not like we putting on blinders going, no, that's not going on. No, it's going on. It's there in front of us. It's there in our face 24/7. Now I'm reminded of when Cat Williams came out on his show talking about your men don't care. We don't care. You worried about putting fuchsia on your fingers and purple on your toes. We're like, no, we're not going to be with you because, girl, is that fuchsia on your toes? That's two different things. You got the men who don't care about that, but, they on the struggle bus with us too, but we don't see that out here. We don't see it out here. You don't see that on the dating shows. You don't see it in the media. You don't see none of that. But still yet, you got all these ones that I'll pay you if you look this way. I'll pay for you for the boobs. I'll pay for the butt. I'll pay for it. Come on over here, baby girl. How can you compete with that? Those are mixed messages. So yes, we are fighting the unseen.
I think y'all putting black men in a predicament.
Are we?
I think you are, because I don't think it's that many black men. It's not as many black men out here that are looking for the shiny new thing than you might imagine. I think it's more decent now. Now, here's the part that y'all don't want to hear. All the black men don't look like Idris Elba either. They don't look like Shamar Moore.
That's the one right there.
Go ahead, Delilah. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I mean, I would agree with you, because a lot of the times they're like either hard workers, so they don't have time to go to the gym, because like as women we do have like our standards too of what we want our man to look like. And a lot of the times when women get married, it's not that we're settling, it's just like as we get older and we mature, like, and become men and women, you just understand that, like, okay, it's ridiculous for me to want a man who makes 6 figures but also have like the body. Not possible.
Uh-oh.
Well,
it's quiet in here. You ladies ain't said nothing.
No, because
the young ladies coming in speaking truth.
It's awful funny how the man that wants all this can't afford all this.
Does he? Okay, but you missed what she said. She said you want the 6-figure man, but if you got a fupa, y'all want to kick the dude out the room.
If he got a what?
You got the fupa, a little pouch over his belly.
That's not. I disagree with that. I don't.
A lot of women do. A lot of women do. You see, Vonda ain't said nothing.
No, we wasn't looking for no Idris Elba. Come on.
What? Okay, one, I wouldn't marry somebody because he has 6 figures. 2, I wouldn't marry him if he had just because he had a 6-pack. I mean, I'm not gonna marry based off of money or income and off of looks. That's being superficial.
But that's okay. But you're the exception, Vonda. See, one of the things I talk about on this show a lot, that the women on our show and the men on our show are more the exception and not the rule. Because if that were true, then there would be more women that look like the 4 of y'all married to brothers that look like the dude from y'all remember that dude Wendell Pierce? He was in
I remember him.
Everybody knows him mostly from The Wire, but also he was in Waiting to Exhale. He was the heavyset brother. He always played the heavyset brother.
Yeah.
Always. And so his character always seems to be the guy that has money, but he's a big dude, and he ain't, and so why are we always rejecting the big dude that's gonna love your dirty draw?
No, I think that was a bad example, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in Waiting to Excel, that man had that girl's heart. You hear me? When he told her everything that she wanted to hear, I'm gonna take care of you. I love you. Let me do this for you, okay? And she didn't care what he looked like after that. She was like, this man is really into it for me. And then what happens? When they get out of that bedroom and she met him out on the streets and he was a totally different person, broke her heart. So it's not what you look like. It's what you bring to the table.
Did he break her heart?
Bringing something too.
Did he
Oh,
break
you
her
don't
heart?
remember when he came to her and stepped to her incorrect? Like she.
No, you must got the wrong guy. Because in Waiting to Exhale, she broke his heart. He couldn't hit it right like she wanted, and she was like, "I'm gonna let him go." And so he was like, "Well, fine, I'll move on and get me something better."
No.
In Waiting to Exhale, yes.
Yeah.
You got the wrong character, Lala.
You talking about the thin guy where she threw the orange at him? That was the crazy
that's
guy.
not Wendell Pierce.
But yeah, I gotta go back and watch the movie.
You got to go back and watch that, girl.
The guy, the guy you're talking about was the thin guy with the leather vest, and he came to her house drunk to go meet his mama, and she threw the orange at him. The guy Lloyd's talking about was the heavy set guy, and he had money. He was gonna buy her a house. He
said, "Whatever you want, boo."
And she ended up.
The sex wasn't right.
The sex wasn't right.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Well, just teach me. Like, tell me what you want me to do."
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
she ended up going back with the one guy.
That's totally
the baby daddy.
But I was wrong about that. But I do know women personally who have been through what I just explained, and they fell in love with this dude because they promised the moon, and he wasn't cute. Okay, not in by today's standards of people saying ain't cute. It ain't never really the looks with us. It's what you can bring to us at the table, and we can bring to you. Now, I do like a good looking man, but I'm gonna tell you, I did date some that wasn't so cute neither.
Is that true though? Today though, Tanila, that the cute guy can play on the same level playing field as the not so cute guy? Is that true today?
I want to say yes and no, because again, you just have your, like in my generation, you just have your younger minded like women, and then there are a few of us like in my generation who don't care, like they really just want to be like treated well. That's all that matters. But personally, me, I just, I think I check enough boxes off, so I don't think it's asking too much for you to, not be like ugly.
Right, but now here, let me say this, and I don't disagree with you, Tanila, but here's what I'm gonna say to what you just said. The question of whether or not a person is ugly has to begin to transcend beyond the exterior. And I think that's part of the problem, because we'll look at the outside. Let me tell you something, and this is no shade. This is just how it is. I'm just saying this is how it is. I have yet to meet a young girl or an older woman that doesn't think that Chris Brown is not a good-looking man. Oh, that's a sexy man. He's a good-looking man. The problem is Chris Brown will whoop a woman's ass. So do you want the good-looking dude or do you want the ass whooping? Which one do you want? So my point is we got to stop looking what we're calling beautiful or even what we're calling ugly has to look beyond what we see first. We gotta stop that knee-jerk reaction of the visual. And it's the same thing that you guys are saying about the Instagram model. Okay, so she's got an Instagram, she's got a big booty, she can twerk. Okay, I get it, whatever. But mature men know how to see the whole picture. Like if you on Instagram every day, all day, that means you ain't got no money. That means you bringing nothing to the table but a big ass. That's all you're bringing. So because real women who are really doing things in the world and they're out here making moves, this, that, and the other, they're not on Instagram all the time. They're not posting all the time. They're trying to do things and make money. Oh, thank God. Okay. Cuz is here. First of all, nigga, you should be late, okay? What are you doing? Okay, all right. This is Noise, aka Judge Jay Jordan. So
I've been very busy. I haven't had a chance to listen in. I just tuned in and saw all these beautiful ladies on the screen with you, and I said, "Oh Lord, I got to get some help."
That's all I'm saying. Y'all got me out here.
The problem is, I'm probably going to agree with the ladies more than I am you.
Oh, so now we got 5 ladies on the screen. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
you're supposed to have her back, man. Support me. Okay. All right. No, but real talk. I don't disagree with what the ladies are saying, if I'm being honest. But I do think to say that men are looking for, like Kieta said, just the Instagram just the big booty, just the big. I don't think that's true. I just think I don't, and it's definitely not something enhanced. I listen. Full disclosure, I don't know if I've ever said this on this show, but I'll say it now. I have never, ever, ever wanted that. I've never wanted that. In fact, I'll even go a step further. One of my prayers was, God, send me a woman, and when she wakes up in the morning, no makeup, breath stank, the whole nine, she's beautiful upon sight. That's what I wanted. And that's what I got. God answered my prayers. So I've always wanted all natural. Now I appreciate the enhanced, the makeup, and I appreciate all those things. But my prayer was, I don't want somebody that looks one way with makeup on, and then you take it off. You're like, my God, it's a totally different person. I didn't want that.
You went to God in prayer.
I went to God with that prayer.
For a beautiful, stinking breath woman, really?
I did. Listen,
is that what you prayed for?
Listen, the thing says, till death do you part. So until I die, I want to be able to look over here and see that beautiful woman, all natural. That's how I felt about it. Now, is that vain, selfish? Maybe, I don't know. But I wanted visually that, and then I also wanted all the other wonderful things that I got in Kieta, the personality and all those things as well.
But the problem is, what is beautiful? What is pretty? What is attractive? That's the question. Because what you find attractive, somebody else may not.
Well, that's why I asked the person earlier, what is society? We keep saying society is telling us it's this, and society.
Yeah, but you also said we wouldn't be checking for a dude because he all big boned and stuff. Just because he big boned and stuff, we ain't checking for him.
Okay, ladies, come on. Can we have a real discussion? How many of the four of you have checked for the big bone brother?
I've dated.
I'm married to a big bone brother.
Them are usually football players.
My daughter's dating a big bone brother.
So,
what
you saying?
Somebody in the back said, "What you talking about, big bone? What?
You from Mississippi and you asking me that?"
Most ladies ain't checking for they don't. Y'all as bad as we are, as some men are. Y'all be on Instagram or GQ magazine looking for the big bone brother. Like, man, he sure is cute with his big self.
I don't believe that the man's appearance matters as much as we think it does. Yes, he can't be, Raggedy Ann. Don't misunderstand me. But really, what she's looking for is a man. So yes, he has to have a certain amount of confidence, even though he is big bone.
Now that's important.
You can't walk around doubting yourself, but yet be trying to attract a woman, even though you don't have the appearance of what's the most beautiful guy we selected on the Saturday night show?
Idris.
Winston. Oh,
it was Idris Elba.
Well,
Winston is big bone and he's nice looking. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was not Winston though. The point is, you have to have a desire to, for lack of a better way to put it, to pursue the woman, to hunt for the woman. And if you have that desire and you come correct, your size doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Period. She can really get past that. I mean, yeah, she would like a six-pack like any other woman, and yeah, she would like, this, that, and the other. But really, if you come to her as a man, the fact that she desires a man above all, that's what really matters.
Ladies, you agree with that?
I do. I really do. Because I've never been one to care about what you really look like. I wanted to know how we can nourish each other and grow together. Right. That's more important to me.
But that's also maturity, though, because younger women are still stuck on that appearance, if you will.
Because I was all about the exterior.
So these four ladies here, we have a beautiful diversity of experience and age and everything here today. So why aren't you guys championing that message, or why are there more women like you championing that message as opposed to the message that seemingly is out there now in every song, in every movie show, like about, oh, he's got to have 6 feet. Like Tanala said earlier, their generation, they're looking for the dollars. They're looking for, you got to drive this, you got to do this, you got to do that. Why is that message that you guys just so eloquently stated not the message that's being perpetuated out there?
Because once again, it is the magic wizard behind the curtain. I think every woman that is here on this panel right now can tell you that we do teach our nieces, our daughters, even our nephews, that it's more than what you see. It's the person from within and inside. And I can tell you, I have nephews who've been taught by their mama, and they do have a certain way that they like their young ladies to look, but they don't get stuck on that. They don't get stuck on that. They look at them now, and these are young men in their 20s who are looking for mates to be long-term, because now they see people like me and their Uncle Will, who've been together for a long time and growing together. I don't think you're going to have a problem with that answer with this panel here. It is the society that we're dealing with. And yes, even though that magic person is behind it, we got to start battling it. That's why companies like Dove are doing so well. There's another company called PopFit that in all their advertisements, they're showing women of all colors, shapes, sizes, disabilities, and abilities. We support those. We need more companies like that to help step up. Well, that's hard to compete with the big corporations that have all the dollars.
I would, I guess, go off of what you said. Would you say that the magic wizard is maturity, maybe?
No, I think it's called greed, corporate greed.
I was going to say low self-esteem.
Yeah, well, you don't get that. If you don't have the low self-esteem, you're not going to fall into that stream. So it's a trickle effect.
But you know what? There's a point to be made in what she just asked, because maybe the reason why the wizard, if we're using Lala's terminology, can be effective is because there's no magic at all. It's just his ability to be able to convince you that there is magic in it. In other words, I can tell you this is what it is. And if you have what Mama Noy said, low self-esteem, no self-worth, no self-identity, if you have all of these magic, because see, the wizard can only, Al teases all the time. It's like, why do y'all like magic? Well, magic deceives us and makes us think we're seeing something that isn't really there. And so if I can convince you that this is a real thing, then you'll believe it, and then you'll be sensationalized based on what you just experienced. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about here, in that everybody is being deceived by thinking, oh, it's this thing because I'm being told it's this thing. You know what I mean?
It's not just with beauty, it's with everything. Okay, so look, I'm in real estate. January 1st, Pantone comes out and tells everybody what the color of the year is. Oh, I got to keep up with the Joneses, so it needs to be green this year. So that's a part of human nature, I think. We always have this keeping up with the Jones, or want to put appearances out there instead of caring exactly what goes on behind that. They want to be seen as a certain way. So it's not just with beauty, it's with everything. Because if Fred comes down the street with a souped up, hoopty, and you're like, I was going to buy that little Toyota, but I think I need to keep up with him because he's got this in his yard. That is a human thing that we all have to get over, but it's in all of us.
So if this is true, then why are we arguing? And what I mean by that societally, why are black men and black women telling each other what we need to do to be better to one another? Because it doesn't sound like any of the stuff that we're talking about is a factor in what it takes to build real relationships. Kevin Samuelson, we talked about him on the show many times. That dude has built a whole brand. And that other clown that we had on a couple of weeks ago built a whole brand, the one you sent me, Jay. It built a whole brand on telling black women that they ain't ish, when the truth of the matter is that none of that's true. We're all being manipulated over some other thing. So why are we not attacking the strategy as opposed to the people?
Because drama keeps people from reality. And that's what they're going to watch. It's the same principle behind why is he getting so many more views than maybe what you are, because you're talking the real truth and he's talking bull. Because people like drama to keep their minds off of their daily problems. So they'd rather go to imaginary land than deal with what they have. That's one of the reasons I don't watch Wendy Williams. People love all that drama. Me, it makes me sick to my stomach. I can't do it.
I can't either.
So it's all about what's going to take your mind off of what you're facing during that day. And that's always going to be.
I would like to know who gave him the right to tell anybody anything on relationships, because he's been married several times, and I would like to know why his relationships didn't work. Was it him? Was it her? Or was it mutual?
Talked about this in the past.
And because you can't give anybody any relationship advice if you don't even have a relationship. If you're not even in a long-term relationship and it didn't, and you've been in multiple relationships and it didn't work, you don't have a right to tell anybody anything. You need to work on yourself. Don't try to fix anybody else. Don't try to work on yourself. That is,
you made a face when she said
the stuff that comes out of his mouth is just stupid. I
Well,
don't
damn.
have to listen to him. I don't know. Ronell put up a video last night on some bull crap that he said last night about being I don't know.
High value man, yeah.
It's foolishness. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, you got about 10 more years and then you'll make his criteria. It's foolishness. It doesn't make sense.
First of all, it's 8 more years, not 10.
Oh,
I did the math. I did the math yesterday. I'm 8 years away to hitting that number.
I'm hitting high value. There you
Oh
go.
my God. That's the person that I married.
That's who you married. That's who you married.
Yeah.
Tanala, what are your thoughts? You made a face when Ms. Vonda was saying all that.
It's not that like I disagree, but I just really think we're thinking too deep. I really just think it's so simple that like we're missing it. I really think it's maturity, because like if back to the corporate greed or like keeping up with somebody, like if you know yourself and you know what you have going for you, you're so mature to like not even entertain keeping up with somebody, because you know like yourself and you're mature enough to like not even let that get to you. And also with like the people liking the reality TV shows, because I'll admit I like the Love and Hip Hop series and stuff, but that's only because like I don't know, sometimes like when nothing dramatic is going on in my life, like I'll turn on the TV and see what's going on in their life, and it's simply like watching them be like so childish on TV. So I really think like this is just like a maturity thing, and it kind of goes into like if it's a maturity thing, then you'll have like different perspectives and certain perspectives when it comes to certain situations. But that's just me.
Okay.
No, I think she's right. But where does that come from? That comes from your foundation of home. If mama's one of these Instagram folk nowadays, because come on, let's face it, you're seeing more and more ladies our age doing the same thing, and that's what their daughters are seeing. At what point do you teach that to our children?
No, I don't disagree with that. I think to Nala's point about the maturity, we are going to process societally what we understand on the level we can understand it. And if we're limited in our knowledge of what certain things are, then we take things more at the value of what we see. So it kind of goes back to what we said earlier about if all I see is a bouncing ass, okay, well then that's what I see, and I'm just excited about that, and that's what motivates me, and that's what my target is, and that's what I want. Well, the truth of the matter is you don't have the capacity to see beyond that. Now, to Derek's point, he's talking about we are built on we're the society that is out there telling us to live our lives a certain way is a group of unqualified people who have never achieved much of anything. Their marriages are just as broken as the next person. Their relationships are just as broken as the next person. And so we're living by standards that are not set from a good place. Cuz you said something yesterday I thought was pretty profound, which is rare because most of the stuff crazy. But you said something about how we are kind of like I don't forget the exact phrase and how you said it, but we're like prisoners of this moment where we're just I'm trying to figure out how you said it. It was really actually pretty good. Maybe it wasn't good at all, and I just shifted
You
it.
didn't write it down, did you?
I didn't write it down. I should have
So
wrote it down.
it wasn't good because you didn't write it down.
I should. That may be true. Come back to me because it was something you said. I had to talk. I just lost it that fast.
Well, listen, I agree with the young lady that maturity is.
This is Tanila, and for everybody.
Nyla. Hi, Nyla.
The lovely Tanila. Yes.
Tanila.
Yes.
Hi, Tanila. I agree that maturity is important. It really is the key to healthy relationships, because you have to be mature enough to understand that life is not about you. That takes a lot of maturity. But at the same time, you have people that are generally mature, but they are failure at relationships. They're otherwise very successful in life, very accomplished, but they're failures at relationships. That's why it's a little bit deeper than just maturity. Maturity is important. Understanding the value of other people and boys not being, men not acting like boys and believing that life is all about them, mine, me. Let me feel my need. Let me scratch where I need to be scratched. It's my toy. It's my basketball. I'm going to take it. That's all boy behavior. But a lot of men take that behavior into adulthood and believe that life still is about them. They haven't matured past that boyhood mentality. So I agree with you that it really does boil down to maturity, but it's just a little bit deeper than that. I also believe.
So can black men and black women in today's society, for no matter what generational demographic you fall in, can we get to a place where we mature to where we can shift this ideology culturally and thereby get back to not even get back to, but get to a place where we're not tearing each other down or setting expectations of one another that are damaging to our culture?
I think we can, but we have to make sure that we create that environment to foster it in. You know, coming up in the church, you go to functions at the church, or, you know, if you were in certain organizations, you would go to certain organizations and learn how the etiquette standards and all that stuff. We have gotten away from that, and now you see a lot of the things that are going on now. So it's got to be something that we foster with one another and create that community again. Otherwise, you have the outside world still being the big teacher.
You got to start calling, like she said, you got to start calling out the wrongs now, changing the wrongs now, and make sure people understand that what's going on today isn't what it should be. And until you start calling out the wrongs today, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. At some point, somebody's got to say, this is BS, and let's start over.
Why is that not? You know what's interesting about this conversation to me? I'm just sitting there thinking about it. I don't hear the Asian community talking about this. Maybe I'm not.
Because a lot of their marriages are arranged.
You don't hear a lot of
in the Asian community. I don't think that's true.
That is one of the hugest industries for beauty expectation.
In the Asian community?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Come on, sir.
You said that marriages are arranged, though. I know that's an Indian.
We don't arrange marriages in our culture unless you on the African continent.
Maybe we should. Maybe that's part of the problem.
You know, I'm starting to wonder that.
But don't use the Asians as your standard. You don't just let's stick with the Wahites. They don't have arranged marriages, but they don't have these same type of discussions that we're having.
I bet you they do have certain
They
arrangements
do within their own circles.
I was getting ready to say
within their circles, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
you have a major dysfunction in the Black community that has to be fixed first. And the first thing is loving yourself. You got to love yourself. Those folks love themselves. They don't give a damn about anybody else. We too busy not loving ourselves. I mean, we're too busy worrying about everybody else. We got to get away from that.
Well, it's hard to love yourself when you're just trying to make it and live.
No, it ain't. It's a mentality, man. It's a mindset change. You got to change your mindset.
How can I truly love myself if I don't know my value?
If you don't love your value,
I am and what I have to offer, how can I really love myself? I can
but
love
you gotta tell yourself what your value is. You gotta tell yourself all that. You cannot go off of. I don't go off of low expense value of me. My first person that tells me what my value is me. I don't give a damn about everybody else. Black people are too busy giving a damn what other people say and think about them.
Yeah, but Ron, that sounds easy. But the truth of the matter is, again,
why make it complicated?
But because it is complicated. I don't know if we're making it any more than it already is.
I think the young lady said it earlier. We're digging too deep to make things more difficult than what they really are. We spend way too much time calling stuff hard and making things hard that we stick to that mentality and say, oh, I can't do it because it's hard. No, it's not. Just do it.
Because then, like, honestly, like that, I think that's probably why I'm in the middle, because there are like still people from my generation who were taught like, you can't love anything unless you love yourself first. So like, I think it's so simple to where like, if you're mature enough to know what you have to offer, then you're mature enough to know what you can entertain. And that all comes from self, I believe. Because I mean, who's gonna tell you how to be like? Who's gonna tell Miss Kenyatta how to be Miss Kenyatta? No, there's no other like her on this planet. So like, I really think it starts with us, and I think it's that simple.
I be trying to tell her, but she won't listen to me tonight.
But it's because you put extra shit behind it when you say it.
Yes, I do. No, all jokes aside, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think the challenge of being able to tell yourself what you are is being able to identify what you are in the first place. If you don't truly understand that part of it, then you're in the mirror standing there looking at it's like a whole bunch of calculus, and and you haven't got past multiplication tables. Like you don't understand what you're looking at. And I think a lot of times, and I think that's where the augmentations come from. I look at something and I think it's fine, but I'm not getting the results from when I go out into the world doesn't see the fineness that I'm presenting. So they're rejecting what I see. So do I need to make alterations to it, or do I need to stay the course?
But you're making those alterations because you're still hoping you're going to satisfy somebody else out there. You're playing algebra with life when you should be just doing adding and subtracting. We're making it way too more difficult than what it is.
I don't disagree with that, Ron. But here's the problem with you, not problem, but the challenge of what you're saying. If you're being told and you believe that the highest form of math is algebra or calculus or whatever it is, then you keep striving for algebra and calculus. When what we're not being told, or we're not even telling ourselves, is that you can make it all the way to the top just add and subtract it. You don't have to have all this other math. Matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, you never even use the rest of it.
And that's like we said earlier. We overcomplicate the issue by telling people they have to know calculus, they have to know algebra.
I don't disagree with
that. Versus
that.
the training of telling them
But it goes back to what.
attracting.
But it goes back to what Jay said, and then I'm jumping in, Mama Noise. It goes back to what Jay said. If you don't know the value of adding and subtracting, just simply saying, I am enough, I'm worth it, I'm beautiful, I'm this. If you don't know that simplistic value, then the shit gets real complicated real fast. Go ahead.
And the funny thing is, dude, you just did what every person should do every morning.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not doing that. Go ahead, Mama Noise.
But I just the other day, you and I were listening to an interview of Nicki Minaj by Joe Budden.
Yes.
And she said the reason why she started to get those butt injections was because I guess Lil Wayne him and his friends or whatever kept talking about other girls.
Him and Drake, call him out.
Him and Drake was looking at other girls, but never considered the girl in the room. And the girls that they were considering were the girls with the augmentation or of the behind and breast. And so she was like, dang, I'm right here. Like she was the homie, the girl that can hang out with the dudes and roll with the homies. But nobody was checking for her. Nobody was checking for her. She was too, somebody said one day, I don't know what it was. In other words, dressing too homely. She was just too ordinary. But once she started adding those injections to her behind, then she became extraordinary. So it was like, okay, you don't like me the way I am in my natural self.
But see, that wasn't the problem. But see, Mama Noise, you're missing the problem. It wasn't that they didn't like her in her natural self. She didn't like her in her natural self.
She didn't like not being.
She was already in the circle with Drake and Lil Wayne. So like they're looking at people that are on the outside, and she has to be mature enough to understand you're already in. You're already at the table. Like you don't need to be invited because you're already sitting there. You might not be like the main attraction or the main event at dinner, but you're there.
She wanted to be the attractive one, the one that was being talked about, the one that at least was even being considered. I mean, I remember being in those circles. I used to be at the like y'all was talking about yesterday. I used to be at the barbershop, right there in the mix, and they would be talking like I ain't even in the room because I was very ordinary, or you just a part of, you just wanted the crew. But then let somebody come in, as some of the people on this panel said on a different day. Said that if you have the pumps on and you come in, with your legs out and stuff because you a knee man or you a shoe man or ankle man or a thigh man or whatever, and the woman comes in with that, then it's like everybody come in, scared. There's someone that is
how I feel about you should have no bearing on how you feel about yourself. Just because just listen, every man is not going to find every woman attractive. That's not how this works. But you got to find your value in yourself.
I know, but it's human. Here's an example. Okay, now this may be a little far out, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's important. And it's always been fascinating to me.
Okay, come through.
So when they came out with the original Planet of the Apes, okay, you remember the original one, them funny looking,
yeah,
stuff, right? They were filming this, and there were all different people behind these masks. Okay, some were orangutans, some were chimpanzees, some were gorillas. But at lunchtime, I don't care what you was behind the mask, you wanted to sit with your kind. So you can equivalate that to now. You want to be a part of that beautiful pool, to be in that circle. It doesn't necessarily always have to be confidence, because we need to start teaching that in our kids. That comes from our home. But there is something in human nature that wants to be in the middle of where they feel like they belong. So if you're a woman who's sitting there with a woman with big boobs and big butt, and all the men are passing you, and they're looking at her, and you're the little homely one next to them, then you're thinking, dang.
Okay, so earlier I asked the question, what is society? It sounds like you just said society is how we feel about how the world receives us.
True, it's part of that.
Is it the whole world? I mean, I remember when you and
whatever our circle is, whatever it is.
Hold on, I remember when I didn't even see you, but I was driving my new whip, and I had my sorority sister in the passenger seat, and your friends was checking for her. Nobody even knew I was, and I'm the one driving. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, okay, you're like,
well, Mama knows they knew you were. They knew you was with Lloyd, so they wasn't gonna look at you.
No, don't even try it. Don't even try
how
it.
that goes.
I'm saying I don't even remember that day, but when Lloyd's like, yeah, me and my cousins, we was there, we saw you drive, they saw my Jeep and they saw my soror in the passenger seat. I was like, I remember that. I didn't see them, but guess what? They didn't even see me because I didn't look like her. And it's no knock against my soror, but she was the most, and she had all the long hair, and she had her titties on a plate, and everybody was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I didn't have mine on a plate, and no, I didn't have the extra 2 scoops here, 2 scoops there, and my hair wasn't off. But nobody was checking for me, and I was the one driving. You know, matter of fact, I should have been like,
they didn't check for you because the Lord blocked their vision for you.
Oh, get out of town.
But Mama knows, but Mama knows, you didn't want them anyway. You got what you wanted. You had what you wanted. You didn't want them checking you out.
So that's why she's not dressing like her soror, because she's not selling. Y'all aren't like,
not
that your soror is selling anything, but y'all aren't in the same lane. You're more mature than that. So that's why I keep going back to what I keep going back to.
Go ahead, go back to it, Tanila.
And Mama knows you had a higher price. Your price tag was higher. That doesn't mean you had a lower price tag. Brothers know what they can afford and what they can't afford.
Ooh.
Listen, you guys talking some heavy. I'm gonna watch my language today. I got all these ladies on the screen, so I'm not.
Go ahead and say heavy shit. I say shit. I do it for you.
Listen,
Vanda, I don't. That's my sister. I can cuss.
One of the things that we are failing. When I get to heaven, I'm gonna ask the good Lord 2 questions. Why didn't He allow me to have 5 boys to raise? I would have loved to. It's not like I wasn't having enough sex. I was having sex.
Oh Lord.
Probably because you're doing it behind gospel music. That's why he didn't give you.
That is true. That is true.
I should have been a father to 5 boys because I believe that we do have an obligation one to another to lift each other up. Listen, men, whether you recognize your power or not, whether you walk in your power or not, you have power as to how Black women feel about themselves. That's just a fact. You have power because society is telling her one thing. And if we don't speak up and tell her she's beautiful just the way she is struggling with that. She doesn't have to speak it, but it's real in her life. So we don't acknowledge our power. So we keep telling her, no, you need to be confident all by yourself. She can't be confident all. She needs a Black man to tell her, baby, your natural hair is beautiful. Baby, your hips are beautiful. Baby, you are beautiful. I don't have to want anything from you. I can tell you that you are attractive just because you are a beautiful Black woman. We have to start giving each other those nuggets.
So now I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just adding to the conversation because I need him to understand the oldness of what he just said and the newness of what he said. And Tanila, you tell me if I'm wrong or not. There are girls on Instagram and guys are putting comments underneath their Instagram picture telling them how beautiful they are, and they're called simps. Because they all on there saying, "Oh, girl, you so sexy, you so this, and your lips, and your hips, and your titties, and your this, your that, and the other." They tell them all those things that Cuz just talked about. The problem is, that's an image of a picture and words behind a screen. It's not real. They're not going face to face telling them this stuff. They're telling them stuff behind social media, and so women. Younger women are being programmed to the likes, follows, and subscribes, as opposed to older women who are used to that face-to-face interaction. So now the self-esteem issue becomes, if I posted this picture and I, like you, Mama Noise said, I got my breast on a plate, I got my booty out, I got this, that, and the other, and I don't get enough likes and follows, am I really pretty? Tell me if I'm wrong, Tanila. I'm just.
No, you're exactly right. That's I mean, that's what it boils down to, because you'll notice that everybody's friends look like each other, and it's like, who's who? Because it's just like, well, this is kind of like based on the standard of social media. This is like the criteria you need to have.
So now, if all of you are doing this, who's beautiful now?
But on the flip side, like, if that's why I say I'm in the middle, because it's just awkward for me. I don't even know where I fall. But I did grow up hearing, like, from the Black men in my family that, oh, you are beautiful, your natural hair is beautiful. So, like, it's just, that's why I say it's maturity. Like, it's what you entertain. Like, ignorance is bliss. So, like, if social media criteria and beauty social media is all you have to go off on, like, that's just where you fall. I don't think it makes them wrong or right, which is why I'm gonna go back to, like, what we very first started talking about with the whole, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with OnlyFans, but I'm pretty sure like some people have, like, their opinions about that. But if that's all you know, like, how to make your money, unfortunately, like, that's why I say we need, like, more Beyoncés, more Chadwick Bosemans, more, I don't know, more people who really just promote, like, natural, like, what do you have to offer at, like, your most authentic self, I guess.
It goes back to Lloyd. What we always talked about is you don't see the Black love on TV. You don't see the Black positivity that these kids need to see. You don't see that on social media. You're not seeing that everywhere. That stuff is it's like finding gold when you find stuff like that popped up. And that's not what the kids are not seeing, that to understand that there's a better alternative than what we have today.
Well, you're not going to see it in social media. You're not going to see it on television until we start seeing it in our homes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you need that. Yeah. And that goes back to what I said about the value. A kid is not born with values. Your parents teach you your values. The parents teach you what your value should be. But at some point when you grow up, you start learning what your value is. You learn how to improve your value. But you have to know what your value is.
But the kids aren't in the home. They're on social media. That matter of fact, they're on social media while they're sitting in the room of their house and disengaging from what mom and dad said. Mom and dad, I know you said I'm beautiful, but on Instagram, I'm not beautiful. On Facebook, I'm not beautiful. On Snapchat, I'm not beautiful. So,
but you got to teach them the difference between entertainment. But you got to teach them the difference between what is entertainment, which is what social media is, and what is real life. Your values that you teach your child is going to make them determine what is real life and what is entertainment.
But let me tell you this, real talk, a lot more Black girls suffer from what you just said than what you think. A lot of them are struggling with their beauty, their look. There's so much comparison going on. And a lot of them feel as if they don't measure up. And in large part because Black brothers, young men, are checking out others and not checking out Black women.
Sean said Black women need to learn how to accept those affirmations also.
All the affirmations that Cuz said.
Well, the affirmations has to come from a pure place. You can't be trying to get ass talking that nonsense.
Yep.
Well, you know what I've told our daughters what I did. I told them I didn't tell them something that I didn't do myself. I took a dry erase marker, and was putting it on my mirror that I see in the mornings that tell, this statements on there of truth to remind myself that I am beautiful and remind myself that I don't have to measure myself up to someone else. But see, and she's like, Mama, I know I put a whole lot of words all over her mirrors, but the point was for her to be able to get that in her heart so that she would be, when she reaches those moments, because, like when there's that new classmate and everybody starts oohing and on over the new classmate and all that stuff. She's like, man, I really feel like, I feel some kind of way, and everybody's looking at her, blah blah blah. I'm sitting there going, okay, you can't worry about who's looking at her. You just need to be confident in who you are and know your own value. And I just regularly try to pour that into her so that she will know. Because if not, then she gets caught up in the foolishness of, you know, the type of stuff that goes on in the classroom.
But it goes back to there's two philosophies that kids are being taught today. We got the philosophy that we're all talking about, where we want to teach them their values, teach them how to love themselves, teach them how to be beautiful. But we got just as many negative people in our own communities, just as toxic, that's teaching them beauty is everything. That's teaching them go look for this other stuff. So we're fighting our own selves this entire time.
Bonnie, you leaned up like you was going to say something.
I mean, I'm struggling with this conversation because I was the ugly duckling of any group that I was in. I was not the girl with the long hair. I was the darkest of any group of friends that I was in. I was never told that I was beautiful or was the cute girl or the pretty girl. So it's just a struggle for me. I'm just now being get ready to be 48 in 2 weeks. I'm just now being able to be comfortable in my own skin. I did the big chop. Oh, it's been several years ago where I was finally done with getting relaxers and was like, just cut it all off. And I was like, I'm okay with it. I'm like, and you know, my kids was like, Mama, you cut your hair off. I'm like, it's hair. It'll grow back. If it don't, oh well, I'll be bald. I don't care. It's hair. It does not define me. It does not define who I am as a person. And I'm just now realizing that I am a beautiful person on the inside and out. You know, I don't care what anybody is. You know, I don't want to be called cute because I'm like, it's for puppies and babies. So, I mean, you know, just listening to you all talk, I'm like, oop, that was me. You know, being overlooked if you go to the club or out at a party. Oop, that was me. And I'm just sitting here just listening. Oop, that was me. And it, you know, and it just brings back memories and it just hurts. And I'm just like, yep, I can attest to that.
Wow.
I can attest to that. You know, so, but I've always told my daughter, you know, she's beautiful because I don't want nobody to ever tell her she's ugly. I'm like, I don't make ugly babies. I don't give a damn what anybody tells you. You are not ugly. None of my kids. I tell my oldest son thinks that he's just the ugliest thing on this earth. And I'm like, no, you're not. One, I don't make ugly babies. Two, you are the most chocolatest, beautifulest, handsomest thing ever. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. And if they do, tell them to come see me. And then they can answer to me. Tell them to come tell me to my face. You know, I don't want none of my kids to ever think that they're ugly. Because I don't want them to go through what I went through. And I don't want them to wait later in life to know. You know, and I tell myself, he's 27. And I still tell him, your hand. He's like, no, I'm not. You know I'm ugly. I'm like, stop saying it before I punch you in your neck. You're not ugly. You're not ugly, you know.
Unique strategy to combating self-esteem, but okay.
Right. Even, you know, when I worked in the school system, I would tell the kids, you know, you just so, you know, you're beautiful, you're smart, because you would have some of those kids who wouldn't hear that. You know, I don't ever want a child to feel like they're not beautiful or smart. I want them to feel like they have that I don't want to say validation, but
no, that's a good
that
word.
validation though. I want them to feel that, you know. I have a student to this day, we're friends on Facebook and everything. she didn't have any friends, you know, and she was my lunch buddy. And I called her Sunshine. And no kids wouldn't play with her. And you know, she would get mad if somebody would sit next to me and I'd have to make kids move, you know. And she has a little sister, and her name in Kosovo means sunshine. And and she is the most beautiful thing ever. She was beautiful and pretty as a little girl, but she has grown up to be the most beautiful young lady ever. And it warms my heart just to see that, you know. So
I want to ask a question to all four of you ladies, because Vonda, thank you for your transparency first and foremost.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
I know, right? But I do want to ask this question to all four of you. Is she alone? Or I guess the other three of you, really. Is she alone? Have you gone through those same bouts of feeling that not attractive, or I'm not the attractive person in my group, or all of that? Have you guys gone through something similar?
Oh yeah, and matter of factly, in our communities, it's almost like if you tried to act like you was a little something, it's like they need to let you know now. Hey, don't start smelling yourself. Now you all right, but don't be trying to act like you know.
But
you better than the rest of us.
What was your standard of your beauty based upon? Was it simply based on what others told you, or was it based on something you saw in yourself?
Well, let me say this while these
women... I didn't ask you! No,
let me say this while these women are thinking, because that's a damn good question.
Thank you.
The reality is, even the ones that we quote-unquote believe are pretty, because too many of us have motives in our compliments.
What you say?
Too many of us have motives in our compliments of little girls.
Absolutely.
That she really doesn't feel valued outside of. As a female, she needs to feel valued just for who she is, not for what she has. But we've taught our girls through our music, through our culture. We've taught our girls, if you ain't got no ass, you ain't got nothing going on.
That's facts.
We've taught our girls to believe that their hips, their chips is their beauty. As if they can't be beautiful in the face and beautiful in the skin and beautiful in the hair and just overall beautiful. We have told them what beauty is.
Who is we?
And black men reinforce it all the time.
So you were back to saying this is black men's fault.
I'm here to tell you.
Oh.
I know black men don't like it when I say that. Why he always coming for black men? Because you don't know your value. That's why I come for you.
Well, I know why you're coming for black men.
Defenders of the earth. Well, our first loves are our fathers.
Come on, ma'am.
So if you get that validation from your father, you're more on a really good foundation to see that in other people when you can tell the difference. When your father is the big motivator and the one who's pouring in your cup, then you have a standard that you want when you grow up.
So, ladies, going back to the original question, what were you basing your beauty validation on when you, or were you, or not on? Because, like you said, you all said you struggled with some of the same things that Vonda mentioned. So, what were you basing that on?
Well, being the lightest one in the family, I always wanted to be darker because all of my aunties were beautiful cocoa, and I wanted to be that. To me, that was beautiful. I didn't like being called red bone. I didn't like being separated, feeling separate from the other ladies. So my point of beauty was always a little more chocolate. You understand? I wanted that. And for a long time, I battled that within my own self. I mean, even my mama, with her great intentions, as sweet as she was, would send me outside with a bottle of suntan lotion, talking about, go on outside, baby, get your little color. And for many years, I equivalated put that type of beauty. I wasn't pretty enough. I'm too light. I need to be a little more chocolate.
Do you think something's wrong with you?
I did.
Really?
I did.
Wow. Okay.
Let me tell you something. It took me till I was 40. Okay? I'm 52. Just turned 52. So I'm a new teenager in this skin. It took me that long to see that, hey girl, you is what you is, and that's what God gave you, and you need to understand your own worth and your own beauty. But within our own families, you want to still be a part of what you see. I wanted to be so chocolate, I didn't know what to do. That's why it was so funny when people be like, well, you get better life as light. I was like, that's what you think. You always think the grass is greener on the other side. But you got to learn that your grass is because you got to water your own grass. It took me forever to do that.
Wow.
And I struggle with that even to this day. Sometimes I find myself slipping back on that.
Wow. So now you nodded your head, and Mama Noise, you nodded your head. What if you don't mind sharing, what were you basing yours on, or what was your struggle?
For me, I didn't really have like my real dad in the picture, but I did have like in the beginning I had my grandpa and my uncles. So it was kind of challenging for me because on the flip side, like I'm hearing at home, like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so this, you're so that. But then like being, I want to say middle school, high school, I don't know, like just what they told me beauty was. Like I went to school with a lot of Caucasians being in Texas. So being like, yeah, I have long hair. Yeah, like I'm like not, unattractive, but I don't know. I think there's just like, I think it has a lot to do with like your social environment, because I could be like beautiful in like a more ethnic area, but when I would always go to like I don't know what you call it, the more like suburban area, I guess, like I just wasn't seen as
we call them wahites here.
Okay, yeah. So I just wasn't seen as beautiful. So I think it really just has a lot to do with like your social environment, because I was getting that at home, but like even though I'm hearing that from my like blood and my family and like some friends that I went to like school with, like in more blacker communities, when I get to like the white communities, it's a whole different ball game. So I'm kind of like in the middle, like, well, who's telling the truth? So then I guess for me, I just had to like really look within myself, because like who are either groups to tell me like who I am? So I don't know. I guess that's why I say it starts with like yourself. Does that answer your question? I feel like
that absolutely answered my question. That was really good. Who is telling the truth? Wow. Mama Noise, what about you?
Well, my father wasn't in my life to be able to pour that into me, the beauty of who I am. And I feel like in listening to what's being said here, I'm this years old, or should I say in this moment, 52 years old, in this moment, that maybe because my mom couldn't give it to me because she didn't get it. And so I've been feeling a way like, what's her fault of not pouring that into me? Well, she didn't have it poured into her, so she couldn't give me what she didn't have. And as an adult, I feel like one of the reasons why I greet all of my friends, everybody that knows me, knows I call my sorors beautiful, and I call my all of my female friends beautiful. And I do that because I didn't realize how many of us never hear that. And I didn't know what beautiful looked like in because I was always dubbed like a tomboy. Because I love to climb trees, and I like to roll around the grass and stuff. I like to have fun. When I was a kid, but at the same time, you know, I like a good skirt. I like, you know, but I didn't. I searched for the standard of beauty, but you know, I guess I was that homey young lady. And I felt like sometimes that I was passed over because I didn't have, you know, the this and that. But I felt like a lot of the reason why I didn't have the this and that is because where I was at was like, now we don't want you to get too far. It was always like, in other words, when I started to feel like, I think I'm pretty, you know, I think I might be beautiful. Well, hey, we ain't having all that, you know. Now they didn't say it like that, but it was like, you know, I wear something and be like, oh, that's cute. They be like, cover that up. You ain't trying to, and it's like, okay. I don't want to make sure that, you know, I make sure that I fit in with everyone else and don't stand out.
Vonda, I didn't ask you this, and man, y'all blowing my mind right now. Vonda, I didn't ask you this, but was your dad around to validate you at all, or no?
So, no. I know, okay, so I know who my dad is, but him and my mom divorced, I guess, after I was born. I don't know. Don't have a clue. Nobody will really tell me the story. I did have a stepdad, but that's a whole nother show. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really.
What you say, Laura?
Oh, I said same.
Same. Tanala said the same. Same exact situation.
So when we were in school together, I'm going to sew into my sister who's here. We were in school together, middle school. I'd see Kenyatta come down that hall and I'd be like, wow, look at that girl, okay? She has confidence. She was shaped beautifully, loved the braids, always wanted the braids, everything. So I think a lot of us women, we go through that and we have girl crushes even when we're growing up, that we don't end up telling people what they meant to us. So while we're talking about beauty, I need you to understand, Kenyatta, that when I saw you, I saw beauty, and I still do. And it needs to be said.
Y'all are blowing my mind today. This is a really good conversation. I'm with Sean. This is a good conversation. Because I don't always agree with your black ass, but I'm going to agree with you today. But not in the way that you think I am. I think.
No, I'm right.
No. It's not about, but it's not about just the rightness of it all. It's a different situation that I'm in. Because it's not so much just that black men have to validate black women. It is that, but it's more than that. Because look at what we just talked about. The common thread, because here's the difference. The common thread of all four of these ladies was their fathers were not around. But the other common thread was there were black men in their lives that were around. And they tried. But just like Alicia said, well, they spent more time telling me I was smart than I was beautiful. Vonda's been my friend for 30 years. And she's and here's the reality. It's just being real. Vonda's always been the homie. That's my girl. That's my homie. We, you know, the home ec room with what's her name that taught us in home ec or whatever. That's the homie. So and the same thing I know about Kieta, because I know some of the people that you hung out with, like Fat Dog and all those guys. You were the homie. So it wasn't that we didn't see your beauty. You were just the little sister. You were the homie. So we missed the fact that you never got that lesson. So yeah, we could have gone and said to you that you're beautiful and that you're all those things, but boy, that father not being there to set the initial foundation, yikes! That is wow.
Listen. What the beautiful young lady? What's your name one more again? I'm sorry, I'm from Mississippi.
Look, man, stop being old. It's Tanila. You're so old.
What is it?
Or you could put it on the screen.
We had it on the screen, and you know, it's blocking the people's
I
view.
apologize.
Production.
Listen, when she was talking to Nyla, okay,
You got it.
When
You
she was
good?
talking earlier, listen now. This is important because we strive to live in the suburbs and in mixed communities. But let me tell you something. That's really hard on the average Black female because she's competing, whether she admits it or not, whether she speaks it or not. She's competing with what other images are that are considered more beautiful. And she feels that inside. She doesn't have to say it. It's there. So fathers are extremely important. I've been playing I'm Black and I'm Proud to my child since she was knee-high to a duck because I knew she was going to be as chocolate as her daddy. Baby, you're Black and you're proud. You're beautiful just the way you are. But listen, I can only do so much. That's why full-time fatherhood is important. You can't come in on the weekend and tell her she's pretty, damn it. You got to be there Monday through Friday to tell her that she's pretty every single day. Because when she leaves your presence, she goes to the schoolhouse. And now she's dealing with other images that are considered more beautiful than her. So you have to constantly combat that in her mind. And let me tell you something. The truth is, my daughter has struggled with it. And I know I have enforced it in her, reinforced it in her, told her entire life. But she struggled with it.
Yeah.
I believe all young ladies do. That's why men are so valuable. But we don't understand that value.
But I think it's even
women.
I think it's even deeper than that though, because you hit something and you guys are all hitting it. When the standard of beauty in the world starts with Wahite and is reinforced in every aspect of our society, constantly and consistently, the message that I give my daughters, and I think my daughters have gone back and forth with it as well, the message that we give our children matters so much more because it will get snuffed out in other parts of society if it's not reinforced. So like Tanala said, yeah, my uncles, my grandfather told me I'm beautiful, but when I go to this predominantly white school and the homecoming queen is white and the prom queen is white and the cheerleaders are all white and the this, that, and the girl that got the solo in choir was white and everything in excellence seems to be white. One thing we can see, Vonda, they laugh at us about our little hood school, but we ain't had them kind of problems.
True. Very true.
I'm just saying. Our prom queen
Okay, so I can, to Nyla, I can kind of understand where she's coming from because I went to school in Terre Haute, Indiana.
You did.
And then I went to high school in Frankfurt for freshman and sophomore year.
Right.
There was 15
white place
Black people. We all knew each other. There was 3 that didn't hang with us. One hung with the baseball players. One hung with the girls with the big hair that smoked in the bathroom, and the other one hung with the preps, and the rest of us all hung together. So I understand, because when I came here from Terre Haute, here, my 8th grade year was a culture shock.
I would imagine, yeah.
I went to no middle, and when I was in class with somebody who was like, that's my uncle. I'm like, that's your uncle. How is that your uncle? My uncle's old.
Right,
like,
right.
How does that work? Like, I was really confused.
Yeah.
Like, so I totally understand the dynamics of, and coming from where I came from, I started seeing people that were the same color as me, like the same dark complexion, because in Indiana, they were light skin, fair skin. There was not really anybody. I was be like the darkest person.
That's because something was in the water over in Indiana. We done said that.
Don't say Indiana. Don't say
I mean,
What? I got 5 nieces.
Oh,
Over in Indiana, and all of them, my brother.
I mean, they would just, so I mean, I totally understand. But yeah, Western High School is a whole nother.
So I'm gonna give everybody here, if you haven't already done it, the homework assignment, because we've been talking about this all for a while now, but I don't know if you've actually seen, some of you have actually seen it. But the new version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that's simply called Bel-Air, is a fascinating study in the sociological and even psychological expectation of Black people in society. And one of the most fascinating characters of the new is the new Carlton. The new Carlton is a chocolate brother. He is as black as they come. And he struggles in this all-white environment to be who he is. Because he's trying, there's a part of him that's like, in order to fit into this environment, I've got to assimilate to their standard of what excellence and handsomeness and beauty is. And I think that's what we're talking about in this conversation. Are we being forced in the environments that we're from to assimilate to what the environment tells us is beautiful? So if I live in the hood, I've been forced to carry a hood-like standard of beauty. If I live in the suburbs, I'm being forced to assimilate to a suburb standard of beauty. So that's why you wear the perm in your hair. That's why you I need my hair to be straight like their hair is straight. I need my hair to not be kinky like their hair is not kinky. I need to wear makeup like they wear makeup. And you find yourself falling into some of those societal traps. And then going back to what Cuz says, there's no Black father there to tell you, you ain't got to do none of that shit. You ain't got to do none of that. You are the beauty. You don't have to assimilate to a standard. You are the beauty. And if you don't have that message reinforced, then you find yourself falling for the trap. And go watch Bel-Air. I promise you, everything we've had discussed here is spot on to what that fits in everything was out. So that's homework assignment, just FYI.
But I also think that we, and I do, I feel totally what you just said, but it's also very important for us to sow into our children, to sow into others. You see what I'm saying? It's okay for your kids to tell another young lady that she's beautiful. It's okay for young men to tell each other, you looking kind of dapper there today. I'm showing my age, dapper. But yeah, whatever dapper, the term is.
That was old as hell.
Because when you get in your own circles, that's when it gets hard. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but I think most women here, and all these women here, can say you can walk into a room and sometimes of your own kind, walk into a room of your own kind and feel like you're alone. Mm-hmm. There were many, many times that I walked into a room full of beautiful Black women and was shunned for being there. Mm-hmm. Automatically thought of as a certain way. Oh, she thinks she cute because she thinks she this and that. We have to learn to also sow into one another. And that's something that I have learned as I've gotten older, and I no longer bite my words. If I think a young lady is pretty, I will tell her, oh, you're such a beautiful lady, or whatever. Even if it's shoes, if I like somebody's shoes, hey girl, them shoes look good. Why? Because even when you comment on things like that, it lifts your self-esteem. So not only is it important within our households, it's important for us to sow into one another.
I tried that, and then the chick took it the wrong way, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not what I meant." She started stalking me.
I do it all the time.
I tried it. I pulled back after that incident. It was ugly.
I think it's pretty sad. I think that thank you again, Lala, for the compliment. I appreciate that. When I was, it's crazy how you listen to what Vonda was saying on her side of the fence, like she said, and what she was going through. Lala's side of the fence, Tanila's side of the fence, my side of the fence. You guys were saying those positive things about me. You had no idea what I was suffering with being bullied on my side of the fence. when I came to high school, one of the reasons why I started the Alpha Bomb Squad was because I noticed that there were a whole lot of Black girls that were going to school that had no one, that didn't have big sisters, that didn't go to school with a sibling, and we were all in this big, because DuPont Manual Magnet High School is a monstrosity of a building. It's been around over 100 years.
That's unnecessary history. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. Don't throw the shade. Over 100 years. And so by it being so large and so massive, I was like, man, we need somebody to be able to say, I got you. You're not by yourself. But I was going through so much stuff at that time. So much stuff I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I just wonder what life would have been like if we would have just encouraged each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think we've said here, when there's something trying to keep us divided, trying to keep us separated. Because, man, when we're together, man, we can move mountains. We can do incredible things.
Can I ask Vonda a question based on what you just said, Mama Noise?
Hey, Lloyd, before you ask your question, I kind of missed it earlier. Can I get a recap?
What the?
No.
Vonda,
It's
your husband.
I'm not playing with you today. I'm not playing with you today. Vonda, I'm going to ask you this question. I can't stand you, Ron. Senior year, junior year, Vonda, when we're all hanging out, if a couple of us, not Ron, because y'all were dating, that don't count. But if we would have said, "Wow, Vonda, wow, you look beautiful today," or "Vonda, you look," what would that have done to senior year, junior year, senior year, Vonda? Oh, you muted, Vonda.
Sorry, I keep
That's okay.
forgetting to hit the button.
That's okay.
I probably would have been more outgoing. He claims that I had friends, but I mean, I really didn't. I don't feel like I really hung with anybody. And I feel like the only reason why people knew me was because of him.
Because of him, yeah.
I mean, except for like Patrice, but I feel like we were friends because him and Rusty were friends because they were on the football team.
Right.
So, I mean,
Don't put the Eve on me, Bobby.
Wow.
So men want to have this fight all the time.
Oh my God, here we go. I'm gonna put myself on mute.
We have this fight all the time. People were talking about her, asking about her all the time during school. I know this. Everybody know this. Half the Western people that's on this show will say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I got into battles. I got into battles with some cats who used to want to try to holler and do all that stuff with Wanda. So there's a difference. There's a difference of what she heard and kind of some of the perceptions that she saw. But Wanda had a lot of friends. She might not, I ain't gonna call them friends because we never call people friends. She had a lot of associates.
Right.
So it's a big difference between associates and friends.
But but Ron, to your point that you're making, and even the point that Vonda's making,
nobody was saying it to her directly.
If you're not hearing it, right? If you're not ever hearing it, then you feel like you're on this island by yourself. Like Lala was saying, she wasn't hearing dudes say, "Lala, you're beautiful. You are an amazingly beautiful woman." She wasn't hearing that. She's just hearing from her family, "Girl, go get this PS 75 and go out there and get you some sun." So
right.
And even to Nyla, she's in a predominantly white environment, and if the Wahite boys ain't checking for her, then does that mean she's not beautiful? Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of what unfortunately happens, right? I mean, the black boys, they're finding their way. There's not enough black girls that are following in the standard of the Wahite girls to validate them going after them, so they go after the ones that they see their friends going after because they live in the suburbs.
Right.
Well, I can relate to Nyla because
what did you just say?
I was trying to say it in a really nice way.
Oh, you got a bunch of bullshit you just said. Say it the right way.
Okay.
Fix it.
The black boys are not checking for the black girls because they're hanging out with the white boys and they're being told that the black girl.
Now the baby can shake her head. She understands what the hell you saying.
Well,
I was trying to be nice.
Well, Pastor, we understood it. We were just trying to be nice about it.
We was.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
We didn't lie.
Well, it's power and truth, and it is truth. And sometimes we don't want to say it because it's raw. But it is real, because I've actually had some dudes tell me, "Oh, I dated you because you look white." Excuse me?
Well, hold on. Let me give you a proper.
And it's
what's the hell? You get the level. You get the level.
What the hell?
Yeah, that was a level 2. Go ahead, Tadila.
Well, I was just gonna like quickly add. It's just like weird to hear like, "Oh, you're pretty for a black girl." What do you mean? I don't know what else other kind of girl to be.
Right? What does that even mean?
Wow. That is the worst statement a black girl to hear.
Now, when I was in middle school, in suburb, I felt what Tanila was saying because, you know, when my mom tried to raise us in from elementary to middle school in the suburbs, so now we're struggling to fit in there, and so the black boys ain't checking for me because I don't live in the hood. I'm not from that area. They're not checking for me. But then the white boys is curious. And then only until I get a white boyfriend, now the black dudes is like, "Oh, is that what it's like? Is it? Yeah. Okay, I was here the whole time. You weren't checking for me when I'm by myself. Then as soon as some white boy found me interesting, now all of a sudden it's like, you know, oh, you can't be with the brothers? Where the brothers at? Come through. No, you're not checking for me till somebody else is feeling me. What's that all about?
That's exactly what it is, because I feel like, yes, I was told by my family, like what they told me, but just going through middle school and all the way up until high school, it was, "Oh yeah, you're just not cute." But then I get to college and it's the same people that called me ugly. I'm like, get out of my face, same face. Like, I'm confused. I'm with you. What is that? Question mark.
What is that?
I mean, because then when me talking proper, now I'm talking white. I'm talking white because I'm talking proper. Then my mama didn't want to take me to the hood for the picnic. I don't know all the stuff down there because I didn't grow up down there. So then it's like, okay, now I gotta learn how to be black. I gotta learn the dances. I gotta learn the games. I gotta learn all that stuff. Because if not, then I'm white.
You gotta learn to be black.
I'm saying all of the things that one would consider a black person should know. If I don't know those things, then I'm not black enough. Ooh. So it's like, but then when I'm out with the white people, I gotta dumb it down. I gotta water it down. I gotta, then don't go in there trying to act like you know more than them white folks. You gotta go in there and act like you. So it's like, man, I am told and taught to be a chameleon.
Yes.
Code switch. Yes. You gotta learn how to code switch.
It's like, good gracious. Then when I went to the hood, oh my gosh, that was a night and day experience from where I'm from living, you know, in the suburbs. Man, I got to the hood and I was being so. I am not. This is not an exaggeration. My grandmother lived across the street from what used to be a convenience store. This shows you the sign of the times. That convenience store turned into a liquor store. And I would go to the store and every guy that would come over and be like, "Hey, Slim, what's your name? What your name is?" I was like, "Hi, my name's Kenyatta. My friends call me Bambi. What your number is?" I was like, "Oh, my number is 7763102. I just want to be your friend." "You do? Nothing wrong with being my friend." I'm telling you, my mama pulled up to the house and there was almost 15 men in my grandmother's front lawn that said they wanted to be my friend. And I said, Mom, these guys said they wanted to be my friend. She said, what the hell? I said, they said they wanted to be my friend. They don't want to be your friend. But look, you brought me to the hood from the suburbs where they know that you don't call after 9 o'clock because their families are asleep. Man, that phone was ringing all night long because there was no standard set in this area where there was a standard set in this area. So here I am trying to juggle. Well, this is the hood part. Well, this is the suburb part.
Part of that was because you was naive. You just
listen.
I think that's me too. I think that's me.
And Lloyd, and the third part of that is you can't be in the hood with the name Bambi. That offers a whole lot of stuff right there.
That is also
and listen now. Don't tell that story. Don't tell that.
But she's right though, guys. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, my husband to this day tells me sometimes, baby, put your country away.
Yeah.
There's two different worlds.
Yeah,
When
she
you
ain't
get
going
to
to.
see that with those kids, we went to school together, so I know where she's coming from.
Right.
There was two different worlds, and you can't navigate very well in both of those worlds when you don't understand either one of them all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, just you have that same situation with females, but you also got that same situation with the guys. The guys are also navigating those same type of
we navigated the same type of world.
Well, then why do y'all put us down as black girls? We don't put y'all down as black boys.
Actually, the women do put the boys down just as much as the guys put the females.
Wait a minute, let me get my tea situated. Go ahead.
And it happens both ways. Women are just as brutal to the guy that's Calvin from McDonald's trying to go holler at the hood chick. She'll beat him to death. You ain't worth 2 nickels to that hood chick. So it goes the same way.
Because that's just not how I roll.
Janila, explain your point because I would have appreciated some free McDonald's if I was dating Calvin. I'm just going.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I'm just thinking it's really like the social standard and your social environment because I don't know. I've gone to school with so many like diverse groups of people. I've had a Calvin like going to the white school with me, and he's still like, "No, white girls just easier." I'm like,
"What you say?"
Yeah, and there's a couple Calvins in the chat that could probably respond to the situation.
Well, I'm knowing this situation, but why does that only have to be like what's talked about? Why am I still not pretty because I'm not putting myself out there like that?
Come on through testosterone. Would you like to answer that question?
I don't have an answer for the question. I mean, it goes back to society and the definition of beauty.
No,
and what society wants you to put out there.
No, go ahead, Defender and Mr. Noise. I'm go ahead.
Oh, you know where I stand already. What are you talking about?
Listen,
I just seem a little quiet over there. Some crickets.
No, it's not. It's no crickets. It's no crickets. It's hilarious. It's she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
She's 100% correct.
Yeah, she's not wrong at all. I do think though, and y'all can stone me if you want, but girls weren't cheering for Larry Briggs either. Black girls weren't cheering for Larry Briggs either.
Who is he?
Not at all.
Larry Briggs was the black guy that assimilated into the white culture when he got to Western, because that's where he felt the most comfortable.
Why
Black girls weren't cheering for him. My point is, I don't know if it's a thing culturally as much as it is the fear of the individual that comes to certain circumstances, and they don't know how to function in that circumstance. Larry was in a predominantly black school, a hood school, and instead of being the black man that he was like, nah, I'm going over here. This is where I feel safe. Now Larry's a phenomenal dude. He was a phenomenal cat, real cool cat. But the truth of the matter is, and sisters were not checking for Larry at all. At all.
Who is Larry?
Larry. My guy, Larry.
Some random dude that went to your school?
He wasn't random. First of all, First of all, you're not gonna
I
disrespect
mean, I'm up
Larry.
here like, is Larry E.F. Hutton or something? Because
You're
she's
not
like,
gonna
but
disrespect
Larry,
like that. Larry's a good, fine human being.
I'm just trying to understand.
Vaughn, am I wrong? Were the sisters were y'all in the bathroom talking about Larry? Man, Larry's fine. Y'all wasn't saying that.
You know what?
I don't even know who Larry is. I'm over
Yes,
here
you
thinking about
do.
like, who is Larry?
Thank you, Vonda.
Ron Nolan.
He's like, you know who Larry is. I don't know who Larry is.
Ron Nolan. Don't you let her get on this thing.
Find the picture of Larry. I'm gonna need you to pull out a yearbook.
I'm absolutely gonna send you a picture.
The fact that you said who he was answers the question.
Right.
That does not answer the question.
Because you wasn't checking for Larry, and Larry was a good dude.
I mean, I would have been checking for him at my school for all
and Larry's parents had a real good marriage.
Anyway.
Listen. We need to stop as men.
Okay, here comes the defender.
We need to stop as men victimizing ourselves with our women. The truth of the matter is, a woman ain't got no business checking for your ragged ass. You need to be checking for her. That's first of all. You waiting on a woman.
Those are lies. Those are lies. Those are lies.
You like you some prize. She's the prize.
Everybody's the prize.
All of my childhood, you guys can see me. I'm not an attractive guy at all. Don't nod your head. Yeah, Jay, you're right. Just keep a straight face. I struggled in school at a younger age, getting the girls that I wanted. But damn it, I was a hunter. I kept coming. I didn't victimize myself and say they ain't checking for me, so I'm gonna go over here and get this white girl. Come on, man.
But that's you, Jay. That's you.
See, the problem is these men are raising these boys to be men.
What you said?
That's the problem.
Are they less of a man because they gave up?
If your black ass wants a black girl, you can get a black girl. The problem is you don't really want one. You victimizing yourself, saying she ain't checking for me. Come on.
Are they less of a black man because they switch teams?
In my opinion, yes.
They less because they switch teams.
Say it again, Nyla.
I said yes, in my opinion, because your mother's black, so shame on you.
So you're less because you did black woman.
Okay, well, hold on, wait a minute.
I'm real confused on that.
Wait a minute,
because
you're less if you do that and you put black women down in the process, not if that's just your preference.
Right.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
that's
my
huge
son
difference.
He got a Wahid tag, and I'm gonna go back on mute.
Vonda pulled out the receipts.
Oh my God.
There's nothing wrong with dating the other race. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is...
Hey, what you said, Frank? Hey, what you said?
Hey, what you just said.
We don't validate. We don't realize that we are sending our black girls a signal when we do that. That's the point. You ain't ever have to say a word to them. But if you're only dating white girls, if you're only checking for the white girls, you're sending our black girls a message.
So help me out with the same scenario, same question we had last time. If you only in the suburbs and you only have white girls around you, don't you date what you're around?
But is your mom not black though? That's my point.
It doesn't matter. But if you're only around white girls, you're only around white girls,
I don't know.
around Asian girls, around Latino girls. What do you want them to date?
So why you can't hold up? Why you can't hold up until you get around some black girls? You just hold up like this ain't my environment.
Oh, you got to hold up.
But I want my kids to love who they love. I mean, I would like for them to be with somebody who's black like me. But if they love somebody who's purple, that's they purple, they green, they blue. As long as they are respecting each other.
Stop acting like if your child coming there with a purple person, you're not gonna have a fit. You're like, why you got this purple ass nigga in here?
Lloyd.
No, I'm just saying. Because I was saying the same thing. I would sit my back and I say,
you know my situation, and I'm trying.
I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be good.
Mr. Noise.
My point is,
no, but no.
Yeah.
I'll to keep it all the way 100.
Yeah.
For real. Regardless of who my kids be with, be on black, white, whatever, they love who they love. I would love for my kids to be with somebody who is black, but I've always known my kids are not my boys anyway. My daughter, I knew she was going to find somebody who was going to be black because she is a militant. That's just who she is.
Right.
My last one, I don't know because he's been in the all boys school, so we'll see where he goes when he gets into high school. My firstborn, well, he's stuck on stupid, so we're just gonna leave it at that. That third child, he's stuck on a Kardashian for some odd reason, and I'm trying to get him off of Kardashians because they're superficial. What we were talking about earlier, they're superficial, and I'm like, look at your mother. She is all natural. I don't wear makeup. I don't have fake eyelashes. My booty is real. My boobs have not been augmented. I don't have fake boobs. They're real. I chopped all my hair off. There's no extensions.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have no lips. So
that's not true.
There's just, well, they're not full or whatever, but I'm just like, look at me and you looking at that. Ugh. So we're working on him. So
now, and this is not
but I don't think
directed toward Vonda, but to Nyla's point, in your mom black, yes, and the hope is that mom set a standard of what that man can look to and say, I want a strong black woman, because that's part of it too. It's maybe how he views black women as it relates to the relationship that he may or may not have with not your situation, but I'm saying in general. It may be just how he views it based on what the experience was. Because if his black mom has assimilated in society, gotten out in the suburbs, and now she's assimilated to a certain place and she acts a certain way, this, that, and the other, he might be like, well, if she's acting like a Wahite woman, why don't I just go get a Wahite woman?
Let me say this. That's an interesting thought. I don't believe it's up to our females to do that, our moms to do that. I believe it's up to our dads to teach our sons the value of our black women. It's up to our dads to teach. That's why I said I wanted 5. Because I guarantee you, I would have taught them to value black women. I value black women today because of what my dad taught me as a kid. That's the truth.
And see, I don't.
You don't what? You don't value black women?
No. I don't value black women based on what my dad taught me. My dad
thank
didn't
God.
do shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mic is hot.
I'm just telling you the truth. He didn't. Now, what the example that I saw my grandfather set for my grandmother, that taught me a lot of things. But we never had the conversation about.
You don't have to.
Well, see, but that's not what you just said. That's not what you just said, Jay.
But why come you can't just love who you love though? Why come it just can't be you find a person and you're attracted to that person though?
I agree.
That person what if that person has the same qualities as that person's parent, but they're just a different color?
Right.
What if they have the same quality as so let's say that my son's girlfriend has the same qualities as me. She's just white.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I say that's fine. I just really think I think what I was saying earlier was that with black men, there's just an emphasis to along with that, love who you love, a black woman can't have that because she's XYZ. That's all I'm saying.
No, a black woman can. She can love who she loves too. If she goes out and loves a white man or Asian man.
But what I'm saying is, like, if she's stereotyped as ghetto or loud, like, then she's just automatically gonna be put down.
My God.
So love who you love, but like at the same time, don't put a black woman down, because not all black women are ghetto or loud or not, well spoken.
I wish that our black men were as militant as our black women, because black women ride hard for black men.
Hard.
They have for our entire existence.
Mm-hmm.
But our black men are wishy-washy as hell when it comes to love. We talking about love whoever you want to love. That's because we don't want to commit to, as our black women have committed to us, we don't want to commit to them. And I'm not talking about you in particular, Vonda. I'm not. I'm just talking about in general. I don't know his circumstance. But our black men, listen, I could have married a white woman. I almost called him something else. I could have married a white woman. I used to date white women. And I told that heifer when she was ready to get married, I said, listen.
Oh my God.
I must marry a black woman. And I told her, I said, my mama's black. I'm going to marry a black woman. Now,
oh my God.
I was told that I was wrong in the way I did. Jay, you shouldn't have done it that way. That was wrong. You hurt the girls. Okay, I apologized about that. But my truth was my truth, a black woman. Because I consider myself to have value to a black woman.
You weren't that melted, because you did say you dated her. So I mean, you was.
Well, I was horny.
Because I think you could also like put it on like the flip side for like the men. Like, I don't know, like when you are dating like a white girl, like she still has to take you home to her parents, and like they still go through the same thing. I'm just saying, like, as black women, we don't that often put down like, oh, I don't like black guys because they don't have enough money or whatever stereotype like you've heard about a black man. It's just like, as I don't know, as like men, like when they have to go meet their white girlfriend's family, like I don't know, you don't know if the dad is gonna call you the N-word or what, but like you're the same one like at your white girlfriend's house, like the same one putting down a black girl for just being black, and like you're in the same situation. So I think like, I don't know, I just think like if it's not taught to like put down other races in the process, like you can love whoever the heck you want to love.
We don't, we often say about this show, this discussion is so good, and we stretch the show out, and we still don't feel like we have enough time sometimes. We're like, God, dog, we run out of time. Okay, so I got some church announcements I have to do. I have to do the church announcement. So, what's today? Tuesday? Okay, so Wednesday we have the 5. Where's the banner? Did you get rid of it, Mama Noise? Mama Noise, I don't see the banner.
You better call production.
Production said, leave the banners alone and let us produce. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Or
somebody in production needs to be fired.
I think it's Mama Noise, because the banner was here and now it ain't there no more. Okay. All right. So tomorrow we got a guest coming.
Yeah.
Roxanne Christian. She's going to come on and talk about the weed.
CBD.
And why we need it. She's saying why we need it. Y'all out here running from it. And she's like, y'all run to it. It's going to make you feel better on the inside. And so she's going to talk about that. And then we're doing our live pick show tomorrow. So come for the 5 tomorrow and check that out. That's going to be gooder than the mug. And then we're going to double back on Believe in the ACC and talk about the teams that made it and also make our picks on the ACC. I haven't decided where I'm going to make my official picks yet. And then tomorrow or Thursday afternoon, Danielle Thomas is going to join us. Another sorority Zetas. Jesus.
Thursday afternoon.
I'm being Alva Red. It's Thursday afternoon.
Well,
it's afternoon on the Eastern Standard Time. And
okay.
Yeah, okay. So there you go. And then one thing I forgot to mention yesterday, we're doing another version of March Madness or Uncorked Wine that you cannot miss. If you love music, Like we love music. We gonna have the ultimate March Madness greatest in music battle. This thing is amazing. We have worked on this thing. It is very detailed. If you enjoyed the most beautifulest black person thing that we did, which a lot of y'all did, we had thousands of views on that. So a lot of y'all really love that. Then you're gonna really love this music one because it's amazing as well. Breaking this thing on down is gonna be incredible. I almost forgot, girl. You're right. Don't forget this Saturday, the VNR Supper Club. Yeah. I don't know what's on the menu though. Chef Vonda. You ready to reveal the menu yet or no?
I can.
Now.
No, I can't.
Oh no! Look at Mr. Uncorked Wine. I was like, no.
Why you think
It's supposed to.
Oh my!
Can't take black people nowhere.
Oh, now wait a minute.
Well, you didn't talk to me. Okay, I apologize. I'm going back.
Okay, all we can tell you is, we won't do it. No, we won't do it. All we can tell you is because it's going to be a lot of fun this week because we're doing a murder mystery.
It's going to be cereal.
And it's going to be the generic cereals too. We're doing King Vitamins.
Oh my God.
And Kaboom's.
I can't do it.
Y'all got me over here coughing. We're doing a murder mystery this weekend in addition to the meal itself. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So you don't want to miss it. I love a good game night. So I cannot wait to see this amazing murder mystery night. So all day Saturday is going to be off the chain. You don't want to miss nothing that we got going on Saturday. So those are your church announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Okay. Ladies, this has been phenomenal. I could not have this show couldn't have been any better. I gotta tell you, ladies, thank you for your transparency and your openness and your honesty to the things that you've shared here today. It has been quite something. And can we just give I know all the ladies on the top row are phenomenal, and you've just shown us the beauty. But doesn't it give you a lot of hope when you see a young lady like Tanila? You go, man, we're gonna be all right. If we got at least one or two Tanilas or three Tanilas out there, we might just be all right as a people.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to you, Miss Tanila, for just being who you are, girl.
Tanila, you just got you some aunties, Auntie Vonda, Auntie Lala. We are here to assist you.
Oh, thank you.
And Tanila, you are smart. You is kind. You is beautiful, and you is important. There you go.
Thank you.
Are you currently in school? You in college?
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are breaking up. I'm at OSU. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can sing her face off.
Oh my gosh! Listen, and that's not exaggeration. It's not exaggeration.
My God, this girl can sing.
I can't thank you, ladies, enough for bringing the noise. Listen, these guys, sometimes this place is just spewing out with testosterone, and I needed the estrogen to come in and help to balance the scales.
Oh,
the guys need to know that there are some women that have noise to make, and you guys really exceeded the expectation. I just can't thank you enough for accepting the invitation and coming through. Catherine's clapping in the chat. I really appreciate it. It's just I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your schedule and coming through and pouring your heart out today.
Every time you do that, it feels like we in church. And I just said that, and then you come back.
No, but see, I needed to direct it to them specifically. And just don't get it twisted. Lala has the voice of an angel.
Lala can sing too now.
Listen, Lala is a videographer. She got some accolades.
Well, ain't nobody mentioned my singing ability. What the hell?
No, we did not. We did
that's
not.
Exactly. Honestly, when you said the last part of what you said, that's what we were thinking when you said your singing ability.
The hell?
It's not real.
Listen, from Cuz Noise, I absolutely honor you women on here, seriously. Lala, I enjoy every time you come on. I'm not always on here, but I'm definitely listening. Love your perspective. Vonda.
Love you, Vonda.
You married to that man, you got to be a good woman.
You picked him as the co-pastor.
And that's the problem. I know him. He got issues. He got issues.
I plead the fifth.
First of all, I know my problem with them, and I'm good with them.
Oh my Lord.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
You guys are.
That is hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for giving a woman's perspective. I oftentimes feel like I'm the only one on here, other than Mama Noise, fighting for women.
Defenders of the earth.
This guy.
Not that I don't fight for men. I just believe that
you don't fight for men. Stop it.
You don't. Lies.
I just believe that our women are valuable and that we as men need to step up and do our part to help our community.
All right. Well, there it is. You guys have any
So
final
we're not
thoughts?
valuable no more, cuz? God damn.
I know. Y'all have any final thoughts that y'all like to share before we head out into the atmosphere for this wonderful Tuesday? Miss Vonda, we'll start with you.
Thank you for inviting me on the show. I was nervous, but it ended up being okay.
It ended up
It
being
was
okay.
nice.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
because I don't like talking in front of people.
But you're good at it.
No, I'm not.
I keep telling you, you're good. You're a star in the making.
That's right, Chef Vonda.
You're a star in the making. By the time we get done with you, you're next
you
Tabitha Brown. You're the ghetto Tabitha Brown. I love it.
Stop talking.
Okay.
Please hit the button.
No,
Lord.
not
Please hit
you.
the live button.
It was him.
Oh,
In
him.
the
Oh,
corner.
you
In the
down there.
corner. It was nice meeting
Please
you.
hit the live button. Please hit the live button.
Nice. Miss Lala.
I always have such a wonderful time. You know, it's hard to find a lot of people that you can connect and have free discussion without somebody fighting over something.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I can get with you guys to have intellectual comments and to share our experiences, knowing that it could help others as well, it's always a pleasure. So thank you so much for inviting me again.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, the lovely Tanila.
I just want to say thank y'all for having me on the show again. I absolutely love being able to share my opinions with older people. I'm not calling.
That's right. We're old, man.
Yes,
Come on now.
with older people, because I feel like I'm just always like going into the conversations to gain wisdom. So thank y'all for having me on here.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you,
You shared a lot of wisdom, and I thank you for that. That was good.
Thank you.
This has just been so lovely, Mama Noise. You did a good job, girl. You put
I want to say a final word.
Oh Lord, you don't say it. Okay, go ahead. Nothing. I said, go ahead. That's what I said.
I was just gonna say it was pretty amazing that the word that kept coming from Tanila was maturity. So a lot of us women, we probably keep running into these, as Jay has always said, regularly, we talking to boys with a man expectation. He's not a man, he's a boy. So I mean, we need to make sure like you know, you can't eat certain foods unless they are fully ripened.
Mama Noise, you like that pastor that got to get that last preach out of him.
You know what, Lloyd?
I love you though. Love you, boo. Y'all have a wonderful Tuesday. It's been beautiful. We'll be back and do it all over again tomorrow.
We're talking